Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if the Shinobi Alliance read Naruto and rwby. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by BLAZERAPTOR54 and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. Chapter 1. The Fourth Shinobi World War. The war fought on the ideals of human freedom, friendships, and that an alliance between all villages could work. Indeed, an impressive campaign had been mounted, lasting nearly a week. This war was settled with just a few major battles. However, Madara Uchiha, the man behind this war, had made one fatal flaw. A flaw that cost him his position decades ago in the Uchiha clan and perhaps even the Hokage robes if Hashirama bit the dust from eating too much junk food. Apparently, a common trait throughout all Ashura reincarnates. Indra's most powerful reincarnate, like himself, was fooled by a mass of dark willpower called Zetsu. More specifically, Black Zetsu, the very extension of a will from its own creator. The creator went by names, some divine, others not so much. She who was the creator. She who was the ender of war. The mother of six paths. The rabbit goddess. The great demoness princess queen even. The Gaia Otsutsuki, the most powerful threat that has ever existed, likely to be the most powerful on her own accord. She had planned her rebirth, the retaking of what was stolen from her by her sons, though in retrospect it wasn't known who was currently turning the gears. Zetsu, the Shinju tree that she bonded with, literally her crazed god complex, a combination of all three. Perhaps. But, she was powerful and lived up to the name Rabbit Goddess. She also very much lived up to her name as the Great Demoness, and her powers dwarfed even that of Madara's, who was previously the most powerful person in the world. Which concludes this little analytical summary. So how did Madara Uchiha, the literal ghost of the Uchiha clan, bite the dust? A stab through the heart, Kaguya spawning from his body as a weird sort of vessel, not much different than when Gaara was possessed by Shukaku. Oh, but the different thing was, and quite literally was, that Shukaku was a talking giant raccoon demon. Quite annoying in of itself, but still, got his ass handed to him by some upstart 12-year-old brat. This time, the now 16-year-old upstart was having to work for it, and he was working for it hard, along with his friends from Team 7 that had come to join him in the final fight. Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno, and their Jonin Kakashi Haddock. Sasuke Uchiha, for all his power, didn't have the stamina that Naruto Uzumaki had and soon found himself drained from the battle. Sakura couldn't hope to ever be useful in this fight. This was a fight between the powers of gods, and Naruto himself was quickly establishing himself as their final hope. He was watched by his sensei, the same that had seen him drink spoiled milk, and the man was proud of the teen. He had grown up, far beyond what he was, and if he was going to get into trouble he might as well just join. Sasuke was trying to get healed enough for one last attack, a last-ditch effort. Sasuke was breathing hard as he spoke. How long? Give me a couple minutes, replies to Sasuke as he kept her palms over him. I'm giving you most of my chakra as is. I don't think Naruto can hold out for a couple of more minutes, Sasuke said as he watched his brother in arms get blasted away by the Great Demoness. Naruto had his arms guarding him as he was blasted back, pushed through the air as his truth-seeking orbs helped push him back into the fight. He was breathing hard as he spat a wad of blood out from his mouth. He then gave the woman a cocky smirk, licking his lips as where the attack landed and the reason why his lip was busted so much. The way old man Sage talks about you, PFFT, he blows raspberries as he insults her. She looked right at him. You dare insult me, Ashura? Yeah, I'm not Ashura, and my name is Naruto Uzumaki. I hope you remember it when I beat you because it'll be the name you'll murmuring in hell for all that you've done. Naruto rasps as he took a deep breath. I'm far from finished. Kaguya chuckled. You're more like me than you realize, boy. I'm nothing like you, Naruto gathered chakra. I am not a demon. For now, Kaguya charged at him, but all that power makes one drunk. Especially since you stole it from me, you thief, and if you will not give then I shall take. Naruto growls as he impacted his forearm against hers. He pushed hard against her, trying to see if he could be pushing her. He found despite all the battling, the stamina exhaustion, she was now just equal to him if she was giving full effort in this struggle. But she probably was when she found her dust ash bones didn't work against him, much to her shock when he broke it off and nearly stabbed her in the neck with it. Which was why she was having a bleeding cut very close to her artery and proved to her. Despite what a piece of her, Kurama, memories pointed to, he was willing to kill her to save everyone. Both backed off against each other. She sends waves of flame, while Naruto blew water from his mouth as he used Asobu's jutsu that was channeled through him. A loud crash, a heavy boom, and steam filling the air around them was all the indicator that everyone got that this battle was far from over. Naruto flashed behind her, his speed unmatched, even if she wouldn't admit it. She slung her arm at him, forming one of her bones to skewer him, but found that he was still able to dodge her and slammed her with a golden Rasengan. She was sent flying across the sky when the sphere dissipated, she was breathing hard and growling. Slowly, Naruto and she dropped to the ground, both glaring at each other. She smirks, while black Zetsu traveled up her arm. "Mother," it says as it slowly flows off her arm, "are you alright?" "I'm fine," Kaguya states as she stood up, just getting a little annoyed by this insect. Quit with the childish insults, she snaps her head up at Naruto Uzumaki, "You're not winning." "I do have one plan," Kaguya then turned toward his friends as she launched a black sphere at them. Naruto's eyes widened as he flashed to their aid, blocking the sphere, but now the purple lightning coming behind it. He roars out as she starts to shock the literal life out of him, he crunches up, biting down on his own teeth hard. He wouldn't give her the pleasure of a screaming teen in a death throw, she continued to build the electricity up, smiling as she even raised him with it. However, she was then kicked away by Sasuke, he left Sakura too early to have been fully healed and recharged. However, if anyone was going to beat Naruto, it was going to be him. "Indra," she growls, "know your place, boy." Sasuke was breathing hard as he watched over his shoulder as Naruto struggled to get up, he then flashed over to him, and Sasuke saw the blonde's orange eyes looking right at Kaguya. He chuckled a little bit, a hint of frustration and anger, while a dash of fear in it. Was he afraid that he wasn't going to be enough? "Saw Sasuke," Naruto struggled a little bit, "thought I was gone there, thank you. Anyone can try, but I am the one at the end of the day that will kill you, no one else." Sasuke states in reply as he got ready, "My Rin Sharingan isn't ready yet." "Of course," breathed Naruto, "I'm so tired." "You better not pass out on me. And what, let you hug all the glory, heh, maybe kiss my ass, Sasuke." "We've got to do it," Sasuke tells Naruto as they got ready, "now or never." She's still holding up a lot of her power, that last attack drained badly, "I don't know if I got it in me to hold her off, you're not doing it, alone I can't keep fighting her, straight on, Sasuke. We'll find a way, we always do, brother." Naruto's eyes widened at the word brother and he smiled as a lone tear went down his face. His lip lightly quivered as he got ready with Sasuke and both roar as they charged toward destiny. Both of their seals glowing hot as they neared Kaguya, she was already disappearing in a portal. However, Sasuke detected where she was heading and looked at Naruto as he was nodding. Naruto braced himself as Sasuke teleported him where Kaguya was to appear, she was stunned to say the least, and Naruto flipped forward and kicked her down to earth as he followed her. For our friends. Naruto was standing with everyone from Konoha 11, even the dead Neji, and was even standing with the other people he met at the villages. For us that have suffered. Sasuke and Naruto stood back to back, both looking down at the bottomless pit below. For those that bared a hardship for the betterment of others. Naruto stood with the other Jinchuriki, all of them smiling as they looked at a village in a far distance. To avenge those that were forgotten. Sasuke stood in front of Itachi, Obito, and Izuna-cha. Naruto and Sasuke ran fast to Kaguya, Naruto, and he snatched her up on either side, both holding her in pace, as both slammed their marked palms on her chest. She roars out as she gets blasted by a black sphere formed between the pair. "This is it, Sasuke, everything you got, Naruto." "Whoa-ah." Both scream as they launched her, six-path seal. Chibaku Tensei. Kaguya was sent flying upwards as she wails, her chakra getting sucked into the growing sphere of rock above her. Naruto and Sasuke on the ground both fell forward, with Naruto losing his cloak and most of the tailed beast chakra used up as was. Sakura ran over to both, putting her hands on them, "I need to heal you just in case." Kakashi joined her, "Focus on Naruto, I have Sasuke covered." "Right, sensei." Sakura moved over to Naruto and began to heal and transfer chakra to him. Both clenched their fist as they saw the sphere growing, more and more, and slowly it grew big enough to cover a village. They thought they'd won, but to their horror, Kaguya's wail echoed out from the rock structure. Slowly, chakra bursts from it, and then much to their horror the stones started falling. Both pushed Kakashi and Sakura back, making sure they were at a safe distance, just in case she started to launch anything toward them. But, both were agape in horror as the stone crumbled around an ever-growing black sphere, and Naruto realized that it was one giant truth-seeking sphere simply by feeling it out. Sasuke slammed his head into the ground, breathing hard. "You've gotta be kidding," Sasuke comments, "we've given it all, and she still has that much power." Naruto gripped his fists as he stood up, taking a deep breath, "Sasuke." "What?" Sasuke looked up at Naruto, "Got a plan, dope?" "Heh, one last time, what did you call me, dope bastard?" Sasuke growls at Naruto, "What the hell, not now." "Sasuke, that thing is unstable, she's doing a last-ditch effort. If she can't have the chakra, no one can, that thing will wipe out not only this dimension, but all others she's been to. That includes our world, Sasuke, Konoha, everyone," Naruto explains as he was being fed information by the other tailed beasts. He gripped his hands, but they're telling me that this is one last shot, failure means everything is gone. One last shot for what? Sasuke looked at Naruto as his cloak came around him. Naruto. Sasuke, wanna know what my real dream was what? Naruto had tears coming down his eyes. I wanted to have a family of my own, and I wanted our kids to be friends. Me and you, we didn't have a good childhood. I wanted to spoil them, no earthly limit you know, and I wanted this with a girl that would love me for who I was after all of this. I changed my dream the first time I saved Konoha, and I just wanted what Shikamaru wanted. A rather normal, very plain, living with friends. Sasuke, Naruto turned to him with a warm but sad smile on his lips, I love you and our team so much. Naruto, Sasuke looked at Naruto as the blonde turned to Kaguya, what are you planning to do? Sasuke, do me one favor alright what actually, make it 2 favors. Naruto chuckled as he rubbed the back of his head, take care of Kakashi when he gets old, and if you and Sakura become a thing be happy. Also, tell everyone I love them, and that I look on them from time to time. Sakura watched as Naruto crouched down, Naruto don't. Sasuke was reaching for Naruto, only the blonde shoots him one less toothy smirk as he jumped upwards. They watched as the glow his cloak grew brighter and brighter until he was almost like a shooting star. Kakashi's eyes widened, no Naruto. You can't do this, Naruto, come back. Sasuke screamed as he watched the blonde near Kaguya. Naruto looked right into Kaguya's eyes, hey Kaguya, foxes hunt rabbits. Kaguya's eyes widened as Naruto slammed into her, tackling her as he sped toward the black sphere, she shook violently as they went into the sphere. It was wide on the inside, she managed to kick him off, but then he turned around and punched her. The sphere grew unstable, Kakashi had tears in his eyes as he looked at everyone, his other eye forming into his Mangekyo Sharingan. He took a deep breath, then bit back his feels as he transported Sasuke and Sakura first, and then looked up at the sky. Farewell, Uzumaki Naruto, we all love you, and your sacrifice won't be forgotten. He then got the hell out of there as the sphere grew more and more unstable. Naruto and Kaguya gripped fists as they slammed into each other's head, blood spattered from the impact. Both he and she spun in the sphere, growling as they both felt the sphere become unstable. She thrashed and kneed him in the gut before tossing him toward the edge. However, Naruto stops himself just before exiting and roars with the voice of all 9-tailed beasts, creating a sort of demonic echo in the sphere. He then speeds toward Kaguya and smashes into her face with his right fist. You worthless child, perish with the rest of your insect kind, how about you go to hell with me, bitch. Naruto and Kaguya both launched fists at each other made of chakra that impacted, large booms formed in the sphere as both battled more and more. When they both ended in a stalemate the blonde growls as he flies backward and prepares a large Biju Udama in one hand. Kaguya does the same, roaring as she did, the sphere growing more unstable to the point it started to even become malformed. Both scream as they launched their attacks at one another, they combined into one large explosion, filling the sphere with light as they charged at one another. The sphere had started to explode as Naruto and Kaguya locked hands once more. However, as the inside of the sphere collapsed, Naruto took a deep breath and kicked Kaguya to the edge of it, where she flew out as it exploded. A bright light filled the entire dimension they were in, she was sent flying out of that light as well. Naruto took a deep breath, looking around as he just floated toward whatever was at the bottom. He was weak, his body had been broken from the battle inside of the sphere, and looked up as he started to see flashes of all his friends in front of him. He smiled at the memories of the first few people playing with him, even in at the bad memories of people picking on him, because they all led to this one moment in time. Slowly, he smiles as he felt blood slowly pool in his mouth. I'm sorry, guys. For what, kitten, you've done what anyone would have done for their loved ones, like Matatabi said, you protected your hive. It was an honor as the 8th king, Naruto Uzumaki, to have helped you on this journey, a true man of your word. You were an awesome opponent as a child, yeah, this ending isn't so bad. Naruto, are you ready to let go? Naruto laughed, leave it to you, Jayuki. I hope B is still alive, if he is, I hope he understands why I took his friend with me. He won't need me, he's grown on me, see ya, I see, your rhyme is clean. He then heard a chuckle, that did not rhyme at all, you too. Ah, and the furball cometh, nice of you to join us you lazy fox, haha, I learned to be fashionably late from the best Kurama. There was silence, and Naruto closed his eyes as tears flowed from them, he started to sob as he felt he was nearing something. Blood flowed out of his mouth, he felt like leaving him, but somehow, he still stole a smile. I never said, because I never got the chance, but thank you. You were the one thing that kept me alive throughout my dumbest years, though I think this counts, haha, and I always gave you a hard time. I understand the loneliness and pain, but I am proud to have called you my friend brother. Naruto finished as he closed his eyes, if there is a next life can we be together again? Naruto heard no reply, but then he heard crying, I would love to torture you again. Naruto stopped breathing, slowly he started to fade through the light, slowly his heart came to a stop and everything else went wide as he fell through it and into some sort of black hole opening. Sasuke and Sakura stood around as the Shinju tree died, slowly dropping people from its branches. Sakura was sobbing as Sasuke clutched her, he was holding himself barely together as Kakashi bowed his head. Why did you do it, you dumbass? Sakura wailed as she hit the ground, we could have won together. Sakura looked at Sasuke, it was the only way. Sasuke was starting to break down and slowly he sobbed, I'm sorry, so sorry. Kakashi put his hands on the two, he's in a better place now, no more pain. He did it, remember that, for us all, Kakashi told them, and slowly everyone gathered around. Minato, Naruto's father, looked at the ground as he saw that his son wasn't among those brought back. He bit his lip, tears threatened him, and then he nods in understanding. Snow started to fall, surprisingly, and everyone looked around. My son, Minato managed to say, thank you. Fourth Hokage, Minato turned to Inoki and saw the elderly man, your son, where is he? Minato quivered, despite being dead himself he didn't want his son to meet the fate all around us. Inoki's eyes widened, then he saw the snow falling, he loved snow, didn't he? Yes, Minato said as he bit his lip and I never once got to play with him in it. Now you can, Inoki spoke and patted the man's back, you should go and meet him. Minato nodded, watching as the Sage of Six Paths came over to them. He then bowed at Minato, surprising everyone, he extended his hand out which Minato took and a bright light appeared around Minato. Minato Namikaze, says Hagoromo as he looked at Minato, your son will be with you. The blonde man nodded and slowly he faded away and then the man turned to Sasuke. Slowly, walking toward him, Hagoromo looked down at the most recent incarnation of Indra. His first beloved son. See, Sasuke looked up at Hagoromo, for even if all of the worlds pressed on him. Thy heart is blinded with pride, with love, and with the soul of my friends. Even though, in darkness, I shall walk a path lit by my own will of fire. For those I love most, and to those to come, I'll break myself down. Till I collapse, till the ashes are dust from my bones, and then I will come again and again. The soul of Indra inside of Sasuke manifested openly, standing in front of Hagoromo, your brother never stopped loving you, Indra. The soul of Indra looked away, taking a deep breath as he went back into Sasuke, who just quivered slightly. Hagoromo took a deep breath, helping the young man up, and then looked right at Sasuke as he saw the young man conflicted. There will be no one to oppose, Hagoromo told him, but please make a better future. Sasuke nodded and looked on the ground, watching the snowfall all around them. I will, Sasuke Sharingan deactivated on him, I sweared. The sound of splashing water filled the forest as a body landed in it, slowly, the body floated down a river. It was a blonde with his eyes closed and slowly he flowed down the river, the air was much colder than what was when he left. Snow fell around, dotting the entire landscape, but the cold somehow managed to restart his heart. Opening his eyes, weakly, he looked up at the skies. Dried blood on his mouth, the feeling of a broken leg, along with broken hands, and some of the other bones cracked, filled him with some foul agony he could never hope to describe. Kurama Naruto, we're alive, why yeah, barely I'm sensing the area, I only sense animal life I know, that's all I sense too, and these weird dark spots moving around negative energy, I feel it as well, demons, ghosts. Naruto struggled in the water, I'm not getting taken by ghosts, Dadabeo. He swam with one arm until he hit the muddy surface, dragging himself up the bank, he breathed hard. Laying against a smooth stone, looking around, and then taking note of the trees and snow. Slowly, taking a deep breath, gathered nature chakra around him. However, something was off, this land seemed weak in its supply. Then again, more than likely, it was probably just him since he justified every bit of odds imaginable to come out alive from his battle with a literal goddess. Taking a moment, looking around, this doesn't seem like Konoha, not even Iwakumo. No, too cold, snow country. No, too much forest, The air, it smells so like Konoha, but I can't feel anyone, maybe we've been gone a few months, perhaps we went through a black hole, what now, an object with infinite density, so powerful it can tear reality, much like Izanagi on some good stuff. Or, Kamui, that works as well, but now the good question is where are we, I'm wondering that as well. Naruto took a deep breath, then looked up, then his eyes widened tremendously. His mouth hanged slightly open, there in the sky was a much larger moon than he ever saw back home, and plus it was shattered. His skin crawled, he started to breathe hard, oh no. Naruto, that can't be our moon, it was never this close, I know, unless something bad happened while we were gone. Did Kaguya survive? It's possible, you did, but she was thrown out much sooner, so, if she did, none of this would be here. I didn't say that, but this certainly does not paint a good picture. Naruto took a deep breath, well, just gonna rest here a minute, Kurama, you know what to do, right? I haven't forgotten since you were a child, rest, I'll wake you up if we need to be ready for anything thanks, buddy Naruto, when we were falling into the black hole, you said something, that if there was another life, that I wanted to be with you again, why? Naruto took a moment, why can't I sense the other tailed beasts? I don't know, and they're not inside of us, Naruto we're alone. Chapter 2. The young Naruto was walking down Konoha, slowly, but surely, he saw snow falling around him. He reached out to it. He giggled slightly as he played with the flakes he caught, watching them melt in his hand, but his much more normal than sensitive hearing caught the whispers of the villagers. Look at him, a pudgy man spat, freak. He's a little special ain't he, holding his tongue out like that, stupid child. A woman says as she walks by him with another, it's pathetic really. Ain't that shh, we can't say it that little bastard hey, just a kid, remember that don't matter, he's that things if anything. Naruto stopped playing with the snow, looking down at his hands as he heard the villagers speak, and then he shook slightly. It wasn't sadness, it was rage as tears spilled from his eyes. He then looked at the villagers as they took notice. One day, he says, you'll all be sorry when I become the Hokage. He then took off running, his scar fluttering in the wind as he did. Naruto's eyes shot open, he was breathing hard, Kurama. I'm here, what is it how long was I out, god, I feel cold almost a full day, I kept you warm enough to prevent frostbite right, you'd think being literally frozen in a block of ice would make me immune, no peha, least you're in high spirits course I am, killed a literal god, and somehow lived nothing can break us, but still, not sensing the others is troubling they could be inside me still, just super drained, you were always the one with the most chakra that's a fair argument. You should be able to walk, but be mindful that you're still very much injured like your left hand is broken, your legs are fractured from where I managed to repair them from being broken, and you also have a concussion. So, would you let me sleep then because I would have brought you out of it easily that's true, but man, I'm weak. Naruto slowly tried to get up from the snow, he was soaked, finding that a layer had covered him. He dusted the snow out of his hair, chittering his teeth a little bit as he had snout hang from his nose, he was at best going to end up with a cold. That, or the flu. Oh well, that didn't matter, he was back baby. First thing I'm going to do when I get back to Konoha, hot springs, Naruto said as he hobbled away from the river. Perhaps, just throwing that out there, you can get laid. Nah, saving myself, like I said as a kid keeping every promise sounds about right, but you just did something I could never even fathom. We did something, not just me. Taking a deep breath Naruto limped as he went over a snowbank, he never seen it snow so much in Konoha before, perhaps he was still in one of the elemental lands. He'd kind of hope it was Kumo, after all, if B survived the man would treat him to a very large dinner. Speaking of dinner, his stomach grumbles and rumbles, begging for food. His various battles, and what he called his Ashura form, took a lot out of him. But, it didn't matter, he won. He won, and everyone was safe, and he managed to see everyone being brought together. Now it was to cultivate that, make a seed grow into a flower, and watch as fields bloomed over time. His plan, no, Jiraiya's dream was coming together at last. Just a few more years, maybe even a decade and things would be settled out for everyone. The blonde just looked at the snow, finding a piece of ice, and it was conveniently reflective. Walking over to it, he expected to just see his normal face, but found that he had something extra. His eyes widened as he looked at it, and then he shook slightly as he reached for the extra set of ears. They were almost fox-like, perhaps a little cat-like in the mix, due to how pointed they were. Kurama, when did I have these? You didn't, I must have missed them, don't know how. Oh my god, no way, this is freaking awesome. I can make them move, Dadabeo. Naruto focused hard on the extra set of ears on top of his head, making them wiggle, he then chuckled a little as he felt them for the first embrace the cold wind. He became aware of them, but then this raised a serious question, how? Do you think when we were in that sphere it could have mixed me with you all a little, just throwing that out there, like a blender of sorts that is ridiculous. Well, come to mention it, my whisker marks look thicker like the initial state. I'm noting some changes, I was just focused on your healing, apparently you did mix a little with me. Told you but, still, can't find the others. Don't matter, Naruto says aloud as he then started to wiggle those new ears, this is kind of silly looking. He also took note of something else, damn it. But my headband, it's cracked, this is the one Iruka-sensei gave me. Perhaps you can fix it. Yeah, hopefully, well we're alive buddy, so let's get going. Naruto hobbled on the snow, holding his left arm, which was still in pain. He could tell that he at least had a few shuriken and kunai in his holsters, which was good. Just in case he needed to fend off a wild animal, then again going with Kurama would be his best bet if he ran into any bandits. Bandits that didn't have any brown in their pants from the war that is. Shaking his head as he went through some brush, Naruto looked at several deer, these were slightly different than what he'd seen around Konoha, much larger antlers. Nara deer in Konoha were domesticated, from what he understood, and never really grew antlers save for small ones. But, in his gut, he felt that he was near Konoha at least. The air was the same, despite being winter, the forest trees looked very similar at the least. He also felt that he had very little chakra despite resting, most of it dedicated to his healing. Stopping as he came to a clearing, he noted the smell of ash in the air, his eyes widened a little bit as he hobbled a little quicker toward it. Slowly, but surely, he brought himself into a stumbling walk. Coming out of the clearing he saw what he feared, a town was burning. He then didn't notice anyone though, walking through it, he found that there were a few bodies. He was puzzled, did bandits do this? If they did they were brutal, very brutal, and needed to be stopped. Examining the bodies however Naruto found that they didn't exactly wear normal era clothing, sure he noted pants and stuff, but overall the fabric was different. Cotton, which was common, and these were made of wool-like fabrics which very few people wore back home. Taking a deep breath, reaching down, Naruto saw the eyes of a young woman still open. Whatever she had seen, whatever she had experienced, it etched terror into her face. Closing her eyes, the blonde took a moment to collect himself. "Hey." Naruto snapped his head toward the voice. Hey, it was a man, get down before they see you. Boo, the bandits. Naruto yelled back as he reached down and grabbed a kunai. No, the man then screams, Grimm. Grimm? Naruto questioned in his muse and then turned to the sound of growling. Naruto, don't mean to alarm you, but those dark spots we felt when first arrived are all around this village. It's weird, nothing I've ever seen, as if they're devoid of chakra completely save for smidgens of dark chakra. Kurama told Naruto from the inside of him, one is right behind you. Yeah, Naruto then took a deep breath, I can see that, Kurama. That one Kurama was talking about was in the form of a large wolf-like creature, it stalked toward Naruto. He took note of how it looked, even the opposable thumbs it had, and it growls as it neared him. The blonde sneered and spun the kunai in his hand, he reversed gripped it as he flowed chakra into it. Plan I'm giving you chakra, but you better make it count, I am going to try to hold the fractures in your leg together. Naruto's eyes turned red as he felt the rush of energy from Kurama, thought you were drained. I am drained, this is all I can give you, so no Biju Klo can no Ashura form. That sucks, but wouldn't I need to use all others to form Ashura? Not exactly, you'll just have one truth-seeking sphere instead of 9. Wait, that's how they worked. Focus, Dumbus. Naruto barely dodged to the side as he felt the beast's claws graze his cheek, turning around he then spun around and sliced its neck open as it leaps at him again. It fell to the ground, but instead of blood being on him, or even leaking to the ground the beast just vanished into black smoke. However, the wail it had made when Naruto cut into it made others very aware of the blonde's presence. Breathing hard, with a deep huff, Naruto formed a hand seal all too familiar. Smirking as bursts of smoke appeared around him. He may be injured, but his shadow clones wouldn't be. 5 clones met the pack as they came, all of them with red eyes as they ran hard, easily tackling the beasts to the ground as they stabbed and punched them. Soon those things met the same fate as the first one, with Naruto watched as his clones dispersed afterward to bring back the needed chakra. Then there was a loud rumble, the ground shook, and Naruto then heard a massive roar. He turned to where it was coming from, seeing a large bipedal monster with one eye lumbering into the village. He then heard a loud bang, turning toward the same man that had warned him, holding something in his hands that made the noise. Hey, the man ran over to Naruto, you need to run. Why that's a cyclops, it's a powerful Grimm. Sir, what's a Grimm? The man looked at Naruto with his green eyes with bewilderment, come again. What's a Grimm? Naruto questions once more as the beast lumbered toward them. Did you hit your head or something? Look, either run or die. Kid, where are the shinobi? Shinobi, you know, the forces of Konoha and such. What the shinobi villages whatever, I'm not dying because of some dumbus fron what now ga, just stand there and distract it then. The man then just growls before running fast away from the beast as it lumbered toward Naruto, the blonde looked bewildered and then he turned to face the massive beast. It was easily 3 stories tall, holding a tree in its hand. A literal tree. Taking a deep breath Naruto looked at the beast, well, this ain't good. Naruto, the legs, go for the legs. Are we not going to talk about the fact that the man didn't know about shinobi? Really not a good time, incoming. Oh, yeah, about that. Naruto's eyes suddenly had orange appear around them, they turned an orange as his pupils went from fox-like to also having toad-like qualities in them. The tree smashed into him, but instead of moving him Naruto had anchored himself down with chakra, his sage mode shattering the tree around them from its durability. Ah, yes, sage mode. Why did you think I was just standing around? I'm not dumb Kurama, slow but not dumb. You said it, not me. Go back to healing, I can deal with this, with sage mode. Naruto dropped down into his toad kata, taking a few deep breaths as he ran toward the beast. Every step he took sent pain throughout from his legs, they were still in pain despite Kurama healing them, but his sage mode dulled the pain enough to make it bearable. Jumping up, leaping over the beast, Naruto formed a Rasengan in one hand as he dodged from being grabbed. Landing behind the beast, Naruto roars out as he dashed and slammed the ball of chakra into the beast's back right leg. It screeched as it fell to one knee. Naruto then jumped back as he yelled at several people that got in the way as they tried to everyone please stay back. Forming two clones by him that jumped back with him, Naruto finished with him landing just behind the two clones. He then took a deep breath as he placed one hand out. The two clones nodded, turning to Naruto as they held their hands out. Slowly, a large Rasengan began to form and then it grew blades as wind gathered around it. The snow began to circle around Naruto in a sort of blizzardy tornado as he raised the newly formed Rasen Shuriken up. However, Naruto noticed that a child tripped while running behind the beast, trying to run from a wolf. Damn it, Naruto growls as he watched his clone engage, striking the beast while grabbing the kid. His eyes widened as he suddenly dropped out of sage mode, collapsing to one knee, breathing hard. Naruto, you wasted too much time, your body is not able to handle the stamina drain of that yet, damn it all. Then I'm sorry to do this, Kurama, but I need chakra.but, you'll be re-breaking your bones meh, restore later, right now. Taking a deep breath, Naruto roars out as was able to manifest Kurama's initial cloak, the step below Biju mode, but he needed to be quick since the chakra drainage was massive and he had very little to begin with. Like a bolt of lightning, Naruto dashed forward, his legs re-breaking as he did, much to his shock at the pain he felt. However, Kurama's chakra binds them together just enough to do what he needed and he did as he careens right through the massive beast. Shooting out of its chest like a light arrow since he surrounded himself chakra, literally. Naruto then flipped forward, forming a tiny Rasen Shuriken on his fingers, nine-tailed fox. Mini Rasen Shuriken barrage. The beast's eyes widened as Naruto slung those tiny bladed spheres at him, it roars as they impacted nearly just around the head, expanding into their larger counterpart's wind dome as they shredded spots of its head until pieces just remain. The massive beast fell forward, slamming into the ground as Naruto fell hard into the snow and Kurama's chakra leaving him for the moment. Breathing hard and exhausted once more from not having fully healed from Kaguya's battle, Naruto hissed at seeing his legs all black and purple from the torn parts of his pants. Internally bruised almost beyond repair, but Kurama could fix that, no problem. Naruto laid into the snow, growling as he tried to lean up, but found that his body was too injured to hard to do anything anymore. However, his eyes widened as he heard something coming and turned to see it was a couple of other wolves. Oh no, I can't move you in time, oh, this is going to hurt bad. Ooh. Naruto's fox cat-like ears perked up at the yell. He then saw blasts of fire chakra hitting the wolves as a man with blonde hair dropped down, punching straight as he launched them from gauntlets on his hands. The man was blonde-haired, just like Naruto, and as the man turned Naruto could see that he had oceanic blue eyes just like him in a way. Then suddenly another man dropped down, he held a scythe as he sliced through more wolves, and Naruto then took note of the massive numbers of these Grimm as the men battled through them. Each of them easily killing them, and he would admit that he was impressed. Crow, Naruto heard the blonde say, grab that kid there. Crow, the one wielding the scythe, ran over toward Naruto, damn he's busted up pretty bad Taeyang. Parry him, this town is gone, Taeyang the man with blonde hair ordered. Crow shrugs, grabbing Naruto as he hoisted him with the blonde groaning a little bit, hey kiddo, you good? Why yeah, I guess, so, where am I? You were in a town called Vale, but it's gone now due to the Grimm.oh, that's not good, who sent you, Konoha? Naruto's breathing became labored, slowly his eyes closed and the man called Crow hissed a little bit as he carried the teen with one arm as he spun his scythe in one hand to form it into its sword mode. Slowly, he looked at his partner Taeyang. He's passed out, still can't find the huntsman that killed that cyclops, we'll find them, don't worry, we need to go alright, you first you got kids to get home to, that boy may have family still, go, I'll hold those beolfs off. Crow nodded, watching as Taeyang covered his retreat while taking down several other beolfs. He then dashed back when he noticed an opening, following Crow while grabbing another kid and running hard as to meet up with the military that was securing another town just up north. Taeyang then looked at Naruto, the blonde was out cold, he's burned on his left arm. Crow, let's get to the plains, open area makes us have the advantage, right? Come on, right behind you, just keep that kid secured, will ya? He looks no older than Ruby or Yang, don't worry, I'm not going to let anything happen to him. Crow dashed with Taeyang as they made it to the plains. Taeyang carried the other kid on his back, the younger girl clutched hard to him. Huntsman, where's my mommy and daddy? I don't know, sweetie, we'll find them, okay? I breathed hard as they ran across the plains, finally stopping when they saw they weren't being followed. We're gonna stop here for a minute to treat this guy. The girl nodded, getting off his back, okay. Crow took Naruto off his shoulders, laying the teen down on the ground, looking at him as they unzipped the weird tracksuit that he was wearing, the weird symbols. They also noticed that he was armed, taking note of the knives and throwing stars. It almost looks like a ninja, Crow jokes as he managed to check at the various bruises across the boy's body. These aren't marks by Grimm, they have a defined fist. So, this guy was beaten up, prior looks like it, but that doesn't make sense, since we just left that town. That's weird, look at that tattoo on his stomach, it's wet almost. Yang touched the tattoo, making sure it wasn't just blood he was seeing mixed with bile, but upon touching it, he heard a deep grumble inside of his head. He backed off on touching the tattoo, moving down to where his legs were. Mr. Huntsman, is he a huntsman? The girl called out in question, pointing at Naruto. No, we don't know him, why? Taeyang questioned the girl as he looked at the legs, broken in 4 places. Damn. Sir, he killed the cyclops, the girl says as she looked at Naruto. Taeyang and Crow stopped, turned to the girl, are you sure? Yes, he had this golden light around him, he went right through the beast. The girl states as she looked at him, is he going to be okay? Taeyang and Crow looked at each other, then to her, yes, he's going to be okay. Come on, we need to move, we can't treat him. Like the blondie said, Crow picked up the girl, your turn to carry that kid, Tai. As usual, leave all of the heavy work to me. Tai complains as he lifted Naruto, damn, this guy is a little heavy. This message will be erased in 2 weeks' time. Naruto, for the better part, was drugged like crazy. This was much better stuff than normally what was used in Konoha. It took almost all the pain away, save for the pressure of his bones shifting as Kurama healed them. His eyes fluttered open as he noted that he was on sort of a ventilator, not to help to breathe, but to provide him with a sort of gas that was keeping him out of pain. Taking a moment, his breathing fogging the mask up, he looked about. He expected to see Shizun's name, Tsunade's, perhaps even Sakura's on the nurse's charts. Nope, he saw someone with a weird name, Heather Peach, which was weird since they weren't using the old dialect descriptions for their names. It'd be like him calling himself Orange Whirlpool, a badass name, but a weird one nonetheless. Hello, looks like you're awake, the peach-colored hair of a woman caught Naruto's eye. She walked over to him, Dr. Pine was just in, your surgery went well. Surgery? Naruto mused in his head as he looked at her, confused. She then put her hand over her mouth, that's right, you came and passed out. You were rescued from a town that fell to those vile creatures of Grimm, well you're in a much safer town now. My name is Heather, but you can call me Nurse Peach if you wish, we just got done a couple hours ago repairing some internal bleed. Naruto looked down and noticed several stitches across his stomach, had he been that damaged? Anyway, probably going to hurt, but I'm going to take you off the gas now, so that you can adjust. Your semblance, sir, is frankly doing an amazing job at healing your body. The internal damage just came from nerves we found fried, repaired them, and such. She said as she reached over, here we go. Naruto took a deep breath of fresh air, breathing hard a little, oh wow. That's the good stuff, ain't it? It is not narcotic, so you won't be hankering for more anytime soon. I believe there are people here to see you. Heather walked over to the door, sirs you may come in now. The blonde's eyes lightened up, expecting Sasuke and Kakashi to come walking through, he chuckled a little bit. Closing his eyes, he smiled as he heard footsteps with his weird ears. They were very sensitive, but that was fine, he could work with that. Kakashi-sensei, Sasuke, I made it back in one piece. Naruto announced as he opened his eyes to see not Sasuke or Kakashi, but the two from earlier in the town. Crow and Taeyang looked at one another, with Crow coughing a little bit, are they your next of kin or something? Oh, hi Naruto waved his hand as he looked at them and spoke, so sorry was expecting someone else. No biggie, you've been out for a day, Taeyang tells him as he walked to his bedside. They are treating you nicely up here, given, you know. Taeyang looked Naruto's ears, his fondest ones that is, if anyone's been rude, don't be afraid to let us know, kid. Huh, why would anyone do that? Naruto questions as he laid back into the pillow, hissing slightly, my legs. We got witnesses saying that you fought off several Grimm, even killing a cyclops by yourself. Now, being honest, are you White Fang? Crow questioned Naruto, but then received a look from Taeyang, I'm just saying someone trained this kid to fight. Yeah, I was trained by my teacher, Kakashi-sensei. Then there was Jiraiya Rasengan, and don't even get me started with Mount Myaboku with old frog Gramps. Hey, do you think you could let Konoha know that I'm back? I'm pretty sure they're trying to rebuild from the war we just had, 10 tails and all. Naruto speaks without realizing that the duo was looking at each other, as if the kid had grown a second head. Crow took a deep breath, he got knocked the fuck out at some point, hard. Crow. Taeyang almost yelled in reply, that's not nice to say. Well, I'm just saying this kid just said there was a war recently, and last I checked I never got called up for it neither did I so, see, he's clearly not all there. Naruto looked at them, Kurama, you there? Of course, I was just getting takeout from Ichiraku wait, you can do that was the dumbest statement you've made yet, dumbest. It was called sarcasm, asshole know what's funny what? Naruto suddenly felt Kurama stop healing, his eyes bulged out as they turned white from the pain, he bit his lip to keep from screaming out. He hit the bed silently on the side not presented to the people in front of him, his right eye twitched violently. Okay, you're not an asshole better, see, torturing is fun yeah, for you, for me I still have broken legs I like to call that leverage. Har, you're hilarious. Okay, kid, Taeyang got Naruto's attention. Taking a deep breath Taeyang then spoke clearly, do you have a family? Well, what counts as family, both my parents are dead. I have Sasuke, he's sort of my adoptive brother, and there's Iruka like my adoptive father. Hey, speaking of which, what country is this? Snow, fire, mists, earth, or is this place like a cold place near lightning? Naruto questioned as he looked at Taeyang, who was just staring at the kid and then watched as the man looked at Crow. Knock the fuck out, Crow mouthed to Taeyang, see? Okay, kid. Look, we don't know what you're talking about. Did you mean, mistral? No, there are no towns in that country with the names he's given, Bakuo, down south. There's a couple of towns there with that name, but not all of them, and is Konoha a small hamlet or something? Taeyang tried to reason with Naruto's answers with a question, kid. What, PFFT, no. The elemental countries. Fire, stone, lightning, wind, and mists. Then there's like a few dozen smaller countries, land of rice, land of tea, land of storms, demons, you know. Aha, got it. You're all from the kingdom of Gel, how's Temujin? Temujin knows me, just got to him, Naruto Uzumaki. He'll remember my name, seriously, that's it right. Naruto was getting nervous at the end with his question, I mean this is the kingdom of Gel right? Crow, can you go contact Ozpin yeah, sure thanks. Taeyang looked at Naruto, look, Naruto, right. Naruto, yeah, that's right. Naruto said as he straightened himself up, what's your name? Taeyang Xiaolong, do you know what day it is no actually, I don't okay, well today is October 12th. Really, wow. Naruto rubbed the back of his head, accidentally pulling the wires a little bit but managed to adjust himself, I turned 17 just a couple days ago. Taeyang looked very surprised, that's definitely not a concussion, amnesia. No, because then he'd be remembering actual things that happened before a blank slate, damn what's going on. First the mysterious booms, then the Grimm coming toward the town, something is seriously up with this kid. Taeyang, can you hand me that water over there please? Naruto asks as he pointed toward the water pitcher. Taeyang looked at him, sure, he walked over and grabbed the pitcher. He handed to Naruto, but instead of the blonde grabbing the cup next to him the teen just throws the pitcher back, chugging the water down with greed. He finished quickly, not even a few moments after he started, and with a contented sigh. Ah, that's the stuff, Naruto moaned a little. Must have been thirsty, what are you exactly? A student, huntsman. Taeyang questioned as he folded his arms, huntsmen your age isn't exactly unheard of, but they're usually broadcasted. Huntsman, don't you mean shinobi? No, I mean huntsman, what are shinobi? Naruto's eyes widened, dropping the pitcher out of his hand, he blinked before he looked around. Slowly, but surely, his breathing started to increase. He gripped the bed, breathing harder, wheezing. Hey, Naruto. Nurse. Taeyang ran out of the room, running for the nurse. No, Naruto calm down we've gotta go, Kurama we're in the infinite Tsukiyomi no, we're not, Naruto, calm yourself how why, where the hell are we? Naruto looked at the wires, grabbing them as he ripped them off him, he then looked at the IV in his arm, yanking it out. Blood leaked from his arm before it was healed by Kurama, the nine-tailed fox trying to calm his Jinchuriki down to no avail. Naruto had medical shorts on, that was good, meaning he wouldn't flash anyone when he got up. Getting up he ran toward the window, opening it, and looked outside to see mysterious things. Lighted signs were not as common as they were here, but the weirdest thing was people moving inside of metal boxes. Boy, kid, hold up don't jump. Crow came running in the room, don't you do it. Naruto didn't listen as he jumped up, Crow ran over to see that the boy landed just fine, much to his shock. He then saw the blonde become a shadowy blur as he ran across the rooftops, he then heard Taeyang come in, and then he looked at his friend. He shook his head, You let him jump he's living, but I must be super drunk because I could have sworn he just vanished in speed what? The man with silvery hair came in, walking with his cane, Mr. Braun where is this child? I don't know, honestly, he flew the coup I'll track him you sure about that, Ozpin? Ozpin, the man with glasses smiled, I'm quite sure. Naruto fell to the ground, holding his legs as he made toward the snowy beaches of a shore, he looked at it. Looking all around himself, there was no way that he reached the end of it, especially since he could see a distant large island in the distance. Shaking his head, walking around, he looked at the waves crashing against the snow. I don't understand, Kurama, where are we? Naruto, I'm sure we're in the land of fire, but this is not the way I remember it. No shit, I don't understand, you said that we were gone for a few days. I was just being optimistic, the truth is, I didn't know then. Why feed me bullshit? Because I'm freaking out as well, my brothers and sisters. Naruto sat up, looking at the dark blue ocean. I knew when I made that leap at Kaguya. Naruto, you did what you had to do. But if I survived and I'm here, then she's here as well. We don't know that. I know, but it'll be our luck. You must keep calm, freaking out and storming off in confusion won't help. Suddenly tears dropped from Naruto's eyes as he realized something. Sasuke Sakura. Naruto. Naruto brought his knee up to himself. They're all gone. Damn you, Kami, why didn't you just let me die? You could have just let me die. Why did you let me live? Naruto yelled out into the ocean. I was ready. Naruto started sobbing as he realized something else. Everyone we know and love, all of them dead. Naruto, what is it? Kurama, if this world is ours, perhaps we are in the future. Indeed, Naruto turned his head to the soft voice. "'Tis a dark blue beauty. How? When? I made sure to run as fast as I could. Your arm is still bleeding. Kurama, I felt you cut your arm on your drop. I gave them a trail, simply because I felt no ill intent still." Naruto watched as the wound healed almost instantly. His legs were throbbing, but they were starting to feel better. The man walked by him, taking a seat next to him, watching the waves crash down. Slowly he took a deep breath, chuckling. Naruto Uzumaki, the man spoke Naruto's full name. It is truly an honor. Naruto looked at the man. How do you know me? I'm just now figuring out I'm not from here. Taeyang and Crow told me your name. You mentioned places like the elemental nations and such. I just want to say, the man turned to him with a warm smile. I understand. How? Oh, I have my ways, but tell me something. Naruto Uzumaki, are you hungry? Naruto looked at him. No, his stomach grumbled loudly. The man chuckled. That's a lie, sir. It's not nice to lie to a welcoming person. Naruto was back in the hospital, laying in the same bed. He was looking at them all as a massive amount of plates were brought in. Taeyang and Crow looked at each other, then looked at Ozpin. The man carted the food over to Naruto. The blonde looked at the food. These, Naruto poked at the pudding, are different. Please, the door, Ozpin ordered Taeyang. The blonde shrugs and closed it. Suddenly Ozpin formed several motions with his hand, a glyph appearing in front of him, and then a light spread across the room. Naruto's eyes widened a little bit when he recognized that chakra was being used. You seem to realize what I did there. You created a portable silent seal, that's awesome. What style? Archaic. What's archaic? It means very old. Naruto, please just remain calm. I feel as though they are wanting to do more good than harm. Mr. Uzumaki, it means old. I created it in the old manner. How do you? Mr. Xiaolong told me your name. Taeyang raised his hand up. We aren't going to hurt you, we just need to figure out why you're just talking nonsense. Ozpin here said he could track you down. Frankly, I doubted my boss after reviewing street footage of your speed, but I was surprised. Well, I am full of other parlor tricks, Ozpin quips as he looked back at Taeyang. Taeyang waves him off. Sure you are. Anyway, Ozpin turned back toward Naruto. Despite whatever belief, I can say for certain that you're very much aware of your history. Crow nearly choked on his alcohol. Come again. Yes, young Uzumaki here is correct. These are places, but long gone through the visages of time. Ozpin told everyone as he then held out his hand. Take it. Naruto grabbed it, with Ozpin taking a deep breath. Can you hear me in there? You? How did you know? I can sense your power within this one. I feel you are troubled by me considering. You know jutsu, yes, very. Do not be afraid of me. I am no threat to the boy, merely I am trying to investigate his claim, and they are founded. Where are we? On an island called Patch, a nice little hamlet. It split with the main continent 50,000 years ago. How? Would you know this? I study history. This jutsu you are talking about is the oldest form of aura manipulation. We've seen aura manipulation, the manipulation of life energy. I see, but do they know? Crow and Taeyang are my students, very loyal men, and you both are out of place, or rather out of time. Ozpin backed away from Naruto. The giant fox in you is very friendly. Crow and Taeyang looked at each other, shrugging while shaking their head. Kurama, Naruto took a deep breath before forming a hand seal, and hang on. Suddenly a pop of smoke came about, with a clone of Naruto standing there, perfectly healthy. Ozpin looked at the clone, smirking, and then looked at the others. Did he just magic a clone? Crow questioned. I'm drunker than I realize. No, he did, more specifically formed one. Ozpin watched as the clone's appearance became more feral and using it as a sort of communications. So, keep it blunt, what do you know of our history? The KCNC, Kurama controlled Naruto clone. Asked as he looked at them, and what happened to the old world? The old world was destroyed a long time ago, more specifically 50,000 years ago. You've seen the shattered moon. It was long historically debated on the cause, but mythology and fairy tales say the two gods fought on it and broke it. We call them the brother gods. Supposedly their battle led to the end of the old world, but humanity managed to survive and rebuild over time. Ozpin tries to explain what happened, all that you know is gone, but how you got here is a mystery. Wait, if the moon broke apart, how did humans even live, and why do I have fuzzy ears on my head? We found evidence of large underground shelters, underground farms, but they festered with Grimm now. But that doesn't explain my fuzzy ears. Ozpin blinked, you mean you weren't a faunus? What is a faunus? Naruto questioned as he rubbed the ears on top of his head, wait, is it because I have these? The faunus are a race of sentient people with animal traits, how they came to be is unknown, and you seem not know that you are one, so something happened to you to make you come this way. Ozpin says as he chuckled a little at Naruto's wavy ears, ticklish, aren't they? Yeah, Naruto blushed and stopped, sorry. Quite alright, but tell me, do you know how you came here? Promise not to freak out, okay? I'm not easily surprised. Naruto took a deep breath, I was fighting against a goddess called Kaguya Otsutsuki. She fought against me, Sasuke, Sakura-chan, and Kakashi-sensei. We barely put up enough fight to lower her down, and in last attempt, we tried to seal her, it failed. So, I pretty much just surrendered to fate, leaping at her, attempting to take us both out after she formed a large sphere of chakra. I see, murmured Ozpin, but tell me why you came here. We don't know, Naruto passed out as we fell into a sort of black hole in the white light. Next thing we knew was somehow his heartbeat started back up. Then, rather unpleasantly, we ended up falling into a nearly iced over river. I took charge in healing him, laying him there a day, and the rest is pretty up to now. Kurama said through Naruto's clone, we are no harm to you. Naruto's clone dispersed and sighed, Kurama is not used to maintaining my clone's chakra, so he'll disperse them easily. So, whoa, rewind, you're from the past. Crow asks as he looked at Naruto. Naruto frowns, not by choice. Oh, Taeyang then realized, I see. Yeah, everyone I knew and loved is dead, and I don't even know if they lived happily. Naruto frowns as he speaks, I don't even know what to do now. Naruto sighed as he looked at the mirror in the room, is there any way you can send me back? Ozpin frowns, no. Naruto closed his eyes as he buried his hands into his face, the people frowned as he started to sob, he then growls as he looked into the mirror with red eyes. Tears dropped from his eyes as he leaned back onto the pillow and shook his head. Kurama, yes, Naruto, I don't think I can do it, being alone again, all alone this time. Naruto, is there a way I can free you? I want to just, I don't know, join my friends. Yo, you would. Kurama, we've won, there's nothing else we can do now, I refuse to let you commit seppuku, you fool, listen to how you are talking. Kurama, everyone we knew and loved is gone. I know, Naruto, but they wouldn't want us to die here. It's hard to swallow, I know, being totally alone, but Mr. Uzumaki, we'll do our best to make sure you integrate with our world if you wish. If not, Ozpin pushed his glasses up, you can go into the wilderness and live out your days in peace. If defeated a goddess, no bullshit, we could use you. Taeyang points out, we're pretty much backed against Grimm. Mr. Xiaolong, I believe the term is to offer him a job, not you, sorry, just, it's pretty unbelievable still. I understand, but we're not to breathe a word of it outside of this room. Yes sir. Ozpin snapped his fingers, Mr. Uzumaki, your food will get cold, please eat. Naruto looked at the food, sighing, he picked up a chicken breast and bit into it. Chewing, swallowing, he found it hard to believe he managed to find it pleasurable. Taking another large bite, even eating the bone much to their surprise as he chewed through it, he swallowed greedily as he moved on to the next meals. Ozpin looked at them and then back to Naruto, you'll be released from here in 2 days. If you wish to seek me out, Crow will be around. So, I see you decided to take me up on my offer. Ozpin takes a sip of his coffee. Naruto looked at the substance in his cup, yes, but what is this? Coffee, that is coffee, Naruto, it is made beans that are grown in Mistral. It's a stimulant, perhaps the most important in the morning, but you're probably used to drinking tea. Ozpin questioned as he looked at the blonde woman next to him, nodding. Naruto watched as she walked toward the elevator, sighing he then turns back to Ozpin, smells really bitter. Depends on how you like it, I prefer straight black. Go on, I have sent my colleague to get tea, but I would like to see if you could get used to coffee. Trust me, Ozpin says as he takes another sip, you're not being offensive. Naruto nodded, slowly bringing the cup to his lips, he took some of the liquid in his mouth. Slushing to get some of the taste, frowning a little bit, but then shrugs as he starts to finish it off. Ozpin knew that look, it was a look of a man struggling to down a drink he didn't like because someone gave it to him. Watching the blonde finish the contents, Naruto sighs. It's not half bad, but definitely not what I'm used to, Naruto admits as he sits the cup on a small plate he had gotten from. That was almost as bitter as tree bark. Yo, you aren't lying, just be cordial about it. I am. So, Naruto Uzumaki, I do have a few issues with you. Issues that aren't your fault but have to be fixed before I even think about having you on my team, you'll have to attend Beacon for a year. Ozpin blankly stated as Naruto got from the chair almost instantly. A year, he was taken aback. Oh come on, I hated school even from my time. Well, this is a new age compared to yours, you should learn our culture. Ozpin said as he finished his coffee, plus our laws may be different, best you look them up. So, will I be working with 10-year-old kids or something? Naruto questioned as he crosses his arms, not that I'm complaining, well sort of. 10-year-old kids, yeah, that's how you train huntsmen, right? From the first time they can walk I don't follow. Naruto took a deep breath. Back where when I'm from, Konoha and the other villages trained kids as young as 5 to kill and defend their village. I started training when I was 6, I made my first kill when I was 11, and I've got scars across my body from where I've been beaten, stabbed, burned, etc. That is, Ozpin struggled to find the word before he found it, barbaric. Well, that's how my time was. I assume the time when fighting didn't change, especially since you got these demonic things running around. Speaking of being honest, I've never really felt anything like them. They're void of any natural chakra, but I can sense negative chakra within them, like they were literally created from an energy that's been muddied. It's a little disturbing. Naruto scratched his chin as he looked at Ozpin, and I don't see how something with no life chakra is walking. Well, the fact you can even sense energy from Grimm is astounding, Ozpin states as he leaned back. Far as we know they don't produce any aura. Aura is life energy we use daily to enhance our abilities, fuel our semblances, it even gives us a protective shield around us. So, this stuff, it's kind of like this. Naruto took a deep breath, then the room started to shake a little as a screech filled the air, red energy bubbled around Naruto forming a fox-like cloak around him. The blonde's eyes had turned a very dark crimson, his eyes even becoming fox-like with an energy tail swing behind him. The sudden crashing of ceramic brought Naruto's attention to behind him, he saw the blonde woman from before looking right at him, she seemed afraid. He then looked back to Ozpin, who even looked a little disturbed by the display, and then Naruto sighed as he deactivated. Looking at them with a frown, it's nothing like that, is it? Quite certainly not, do not worry about Ms. Glinda there, she was just stunned by the power you have just exerted. I am, frankly, impressed myself. The pressure you filled the room with, Ozpin adjusted his jacket a little, was solid to say the least. Well, Naruto laughs nervously as he rubbed the back of his head and gave a fox-like toothy smile, sorry. Don't be, 'tis a learning experience for the both of us, replies Ozpin as he watched Glinda pick up the remains of the teapot and tea with her semblance. It didn't go unnoticed by Naruto, that's a cool jutsu, Glinda-san. Glinda put the remnants in a trash can, jutsu. Seriously, Naruto pinched his nose, you all don't know what jutsu is. It was the archaic art of manipulating the world with aura, what we call today magic you call jutsu, then again magic is rarely real, and most it is just underwhelming. Then again perhaps it is for the best that some things from a seemingly barbaric age, Ozpin leaned forward, be forgotten. Naruto do not engage. No, I'm not just ready to deck him in his smug face enough Kurama, you realize that compared to everyone here don't you ever start thinking like that, otherwise you'll fall into the power you've gained right. Sorry it's just bite your tongue, be cordial, I can sense he's hiding more than he's letting on. Speaking of that, I can sense a faint life signature below this place, a time and place, right? Well, sorry if me being a child soldier disturbs you, Naruto took a deep breath to calm down. I don't feel disturbed, I feel sorry for you, you've known war and battle since the age of 7 from you just told me. Honestly, Ozpin leaned back, most children here are playing with dolls or video games at that age. We don't really start teaching anyone to kill until 13, and that's mostly on paperwork and mostly to kill Grimm. Naruto bit his lip a little bit, I don't want to say it because it may sound offensive to you all. Ozpin shrugs, you're entitled to your own opinion. You're all soft, Naruto told them bluntly as I've fought even before then. People didn't really like Jinchuriki, which is what I am, and they sometimes made their kids beat me. I froze only once, Naruto then shows them his left hand, and I made a blood oath that I never ever would do that again. Back in my day, freezing up was a death sentence for you and your team. Naruto then took a deep breath, I've seen friends die in front of me before they turned 17. I've seen some of my sensei bite the dust as well, and it's the most sobering thing to someone. You're troubled, Ozpin tells him as he looked right into Naruto, I can tell that much. I'm only troubled because I don't understand, replies as he rubbed his head a little, I took out Kaguya, and somehow the world ended up falling anyway. It makes anything that me, my friends, my family strive to do invalid. Not everything, Naruto, humans are still here, yeah, well, perhaps they didn't have wars due to Grimm. Not invalid, at least in that time, but the world is like the wind. It ever changing, it's ever flowing, and not always blowing the same direction. The age of peace you probably created in your time was long lasting, but humans and Franus are creatures of habits. So, you didn't make anything at your age invalid. Time moved on, Ozpin gives him a little pep talk as well as a lecture. Naruto sighs, if you say so because frankly I kind of just wanna go back home. Well, let's make a deal then, Ozpin leaned on his desk. Naruto looked at him, what's the deal? You helped me find the source of the Grimm, you helped translate a few archaic artifacts and tomes I've gathered, perhaps even search ruins that only you can manage due to your, he bit his lip a little, unique skill set. If you do this, I promise on my life that I'll do everything I can to get back to the past, freeing the future from the scourge and in turn going home. Naruto took a deep breath, what's the possibility you can even find a way? The same possibility as you will truly ever understand that we've entered an age of both peace and war, we're too busy fighting the Grimm to fight amongst each other, mostly. Our ways may seem, in all honesty, subpar to you. But, I assure you, our technology in this age is second to none. Ozpin said as he extends his arm out, deal. Closing his eyes, Naruto took a moment and then opened them, he then extended his own hand and gripped Ozpin's. They both shook hands, looking at one another, and Ozpin happily chuckled as he pulled his hand away. Splendid, Ozpin says as he watches Glinda returning with more tea, and the tea has arrived. Naruto took a small cup, looking at it, he then takes a fair amount into his mouth and slushed it about. Swallowing it he then quickly finished the cup, taking the hot contents down his throat like regular water, giving a sigh of contentment soon afterward. So, placed the glass on the plate he just got it from, what happens now? Naruto was escorted by Glinda, showing him around the city, a few times he almost stepped out into oncoming traffic without looking at the walk signs. He was surprised to find that he would be affected by Glinda's semblance as to stop his movement, then again, he didn't really struggle, so it is debatable on how much effect she could truly hold over him. The blonde looked around, noting the tall skyscrapers, so this is a city. Yes, Glinda says, why? No wonder the Grimm know where you at, you practically broadcast it with these structures of light. Sorry, Naruto apologized, his shinobi training getting the better of his tongue a fair amount of times this week so far. Glinda sighed, do not be, you've got a lot to learn. I only wanted to show you the city since I have to go to my apartment. Ah, well, besides the really weird boxes of death driving on the roads I'm kind of shocked. Especially since a lot of people use this box, cars, as sort of transportation. Naruto admitted as he was looking at the varying metal boxes drive by them, and then there are these super large airships used to transport people. That's about the most advanced my people got, and then there are smaller ones. Glinda couldn't help it, it was like watching a child look out a car window for the first time, our age is full of other wonders. Well, what are these wires coming out of that person's ear, are they like secret police or something? Naruto questioned as he pointed toward a person walking by them, not noticing the glare the man gave him in return. Glinda looked behind them and saw what he was talking about, those are called headphones, and they can be used to help with communication from your scroll. Scroll, but I didn't a big wad of paper near him. Yes, not the archaic term, but these. Glinda got her scroll out and showed Naruto the electronic device, these are electronic communication devices and media players. They're a tool, an entertainment, and a way of communication. Wow, Naruto took it out of her hand, wait what are these things on the screen? Applications, Glinda tapped on the one that looked like a phone, that's a phone application. Phone, oh you mean comlink sort of, but it's for both casual use and emergency use. Okay, that's cool. Naruto then saw an arrow button at the bottom and clicked it, it brought him back to the main screen. Looking at all the applications on the phone, he noticed one, clicking it. It displayed a thing called ValeTube, obviously, he was in a place called Vale, so it had something to do with it. Ah, ValeTube, it's a media website. It's meant to upload videos too, random challenges, music and such. Think of something, do you like heavy metal, rap, hip-hop? Glinda questioned as he looked at her, turning his head as if he was a dog. Glinda took the scroll, getting a headphone set out, here, stick these in your human ears. If you stick them in your frontis ears, you'll probably burst the drums. He did so, watching her click a button on them as they made beeping noise, waiting to connect. What, so lady just said that she was waiting to connect, that's just the computer voice, here. You are connected, the device said in Naruto's ear. Okay, let's try something energetic. Glinda took the scroll out of Naruto's hand. Naruto then suddenly heard his ear flood with something loud, but he recognizes the clam clapping in his ears. They were archaic instruments as the people in this age would say, he found that his fox cat-like ears could still hear the world around him. Glinda noticed that Naruto heard someone start singing when his eyes widened a little bit, taking a moment to turn around the corner with Glinda, he bopped his head a little bit. Watching the younger blonde Glinda couldn't help but laugh a little bit. Wow, Naruto says as he listened to the song, this is strange. The song is called Saturday Night, it's by a band called Ozpin, glad you like it. "It's a personal favorite of mine," Glinda said as she walked with him. The blonde then heard the chorus part of it, hearing all the instruments. "What's this horn I keep hearing? Saxophone? What's a saxophone? You'll learn as you spend time here. Vale City is a melting pot of culture. Okay, now that I can understand. Really, so your village was a place of melting cultures together?" Naruto stared blankly. No, I mean it's a pot you used to melt cheese and stuff." Glinda smacked her face, not too far different than what Tsunade did back in her day, and it made Naruto stop for a moment. Turning around, Glinda saw him just standing there, taking the headphones out. He gave a deep sigh, sadness filled him. Bachan. Naruto was sitting on top of the Hokage mansion, wearing his orange jumpsuit, looking at the rising sun. It had been the week after the third Hokage's replacement came, Tsunade, but Naruto still stood atop the building every other morning. Hiruzen Sarutobi was like the grandfather he never had, and he'd talk to boy like he was his own, which was Naruto shared a close relationship with the man's actual grandson Konohamaru. But now he was just staring into the rising sun. "Gigi," Naruto murmured, "I wish I was stronger." "Naruto," a woman speaks as she walks behind him, "what are you doing here?" "Oh, Bachan, what's up? For once, really wish you'd stop calling me that. Well, you're almost as old as Arasanen, so no damn gaki." She saw him though, despite the playfully little jabs he was sad. "What are you doing here?" "I'm just watching the sunrise over Konoha. I used to watch it with Gigi sometimes. Gigi the third Hokage, he took me under his wing a little bit when I was younger. He was like the grandfather I never got to know." Tsunade then watched him bite his lips. Now he's gone. Sitting by him, she just places a hand on his back. "I know." Naruto looked at her, stunned by the care she was showing, watching her chuckle. The sun started to rise even higher, their shadows elongating as it did. Naruto just stared over the village. A village that one day he may rule over, care for, and protect with his life truly on the line every day. "I miss him too, wish we'd made amends, but perhaps we are in a strange way. He always had high hopes for me, being the granddaughter to the first and all, he loved this village, and I turned my back to him. I guess." Tsunade took a deep breath, "sometimes we live our life with regrets." "Wish I had told him outright," Naruto says as she hugged his knees as he saw the sun rising up more and more, "that I loved him like family. All I ever did was pester him." "You weren't a pest. Not to him, but the villagers that didn't like me because of the fox just pestered him, and I've always felt responsible for that. A regret gaki, you're too young to have regrets." Tsunade got a bottle of sake out, holding it toward Naruto. "Here." Naruto took it, looking at it. "You sure?" "Yeah." She watched as Naruto took a small drink. "Good." "Not really. Then keep it that way, because my biggest regret was becoming an alcoholic. Sometimes it's hard to function. Why don't you get help? I'm too far old to even change the habit. It is my vice, just like Jiraiya's is lust, and money. What would be Orochimaru's?" Tsunade took a deep breath. The fourth overlooked vice, power. Alcohol, lust, greed, and power. Those are the four vices, because all of them corrupt you over time, make you a shell of who you once were. "Give me that." Tsunade took the bottle out of Naruto's hand, finishing it off. "Got to drink it fresh." "How are just gonna give me a speech, then turn around and do that crap?" Naruto suddenly got up as he had flames in his eyes. Tsunade did the same thing, "because I'm older and wiser, gaki." "Bachan gaki, bachan gaki." Both growled at one another, with both crossing their arms and looking away from each other. Shizune had been standing on the mansion as well, rubbing her head and sighing. "Like it or not, Tsunade-sama acts just like Naruto-san. Perhaps it's the genes of an Uzumaki to be wild, eccentric," Shizune murmured before noticing both taking a sigh and turning back to the sun, or perhaps deep down they know their family. It wasn't lost on Naruto's. His normal human ears twitched, as if he was listening, and he smiled for the first time that week as he stared at the village with Tsunade. He felt at peace. Naruto presses his hand on his head, slowly he began to return to the normal world. Glinda looked right at him. He was sitting on the ground, breathing hard. She sat with him. Noting the red face as he looked at the ground. What happened? You had a panic attack, you started hyperventilating and then fell to the ground. Wow, sorry about that. Naruto shook his head, getting up, looking at the street as it was clear. He could water, meaning they were nearer to the docks. Naruto Kurama, I felt your mental state deteriorate, something triggered the panic attack. I just thought of Bachan and just fell into a memory. I see what you've got, PTSD, your mind is trying to hold on to the memories of the good times, but in doing so it's forcing the reality of never returning to them upon you. What do you suggest? Therapy, adapt, and just calm down. Will we ever find a way home? I don't know. Naruto then heard a loud crash of glass breaking, looking over as someone got thrashed and tossed across the street. A girl in a red hooded cape, along with a black corset and combat boots, used a large scythe to hit another man away. However, unseen by Glinda, was the sniper that was aiming at the girl. Naruto suddenly flashed away in gold, she turned to where he appeared and saw him smash the sniper into the building. Hearing multiple bulwarks, she saw one divert away and heading toward a rooftop. Running quickly, she found that the girl was in pursuit of someone climbing a ladder. Using her training as a huntress, she quickly made her way toward the stairs and began to parkour her way up the stairs. Naruto saw them coming in, finding a very strong power source in one, along with them littered with evil intent. He leaped over to where the girl was standing as he saw a man dressed in a white coat taunting the girl as he jumped into it. Appearing in a golden flash just in time, Naruto looked down to see red crystals glowing on the ground. The girl was screaming something about an explosion about to happen, so he turned around and covered her in the same golden flames as it happened. He heard the whistling of the jets as the explosion died down. Looking up, he saw that they were about to fly away, and then he reached out as a golden claw hand appeared and gripped the bulwark. The blonde breathed hard as he struggled to hold it. It dragged him slightly. "We've not fully recovered, still just help me hold them, Kurama, whatever is propelling that contraption, it's powerful. We've got a huntsman." He heard the man call out, then seeing a pair of golden eyes from the shadows of the inside. The ground around them started to glow in sigils, chakra. Naruto then used himself as a barrier more, but found that Glinda was barely able to take the explosions as she put a barrier around them. However, doing so forced Naruto's energy arm to let go of the aircraft. He watched as they started speeding away. He then turned to Glinda. "Hey," Naruto says as he looked at the girl in red, "I'll go after them." Glinda looked at him, "Go ahead, get after them." Naruto nods, quickly running across the rooftops as he pursued the aircraft. He flashed golden as he leaps over various roofs and then ends up running a larger building as they tried to escape by going up. Taking a deep breath as he extended out his arm, he then watched as too many arms offered their assistance as he began to form a jutsu. Slowly the ball formed, becoming bladed as the wind was added to it. He ends up leaping off the building as he reached the end, ending up airborne as he saw the aircraft below him. Then he realized he couldn't launch his attack since he ran the risk of missing and hitting people below. Flipping forward, using the burst of wind to end up below the bulwark, Naruto spun around one time before launching it. He saw the aircraft maneuver just in time to avoid the man part, but Naruto's eyes shined with power as the sphere of influence formed as the ball exploded. Clapping his hands together, the sphere expanded rapidly, barely missing them as he flipped backward and lands hard on a rooftop. Growling, he began to dash across Vale's roofs again, following the aircraft as he saw it go out to open ocean. "No, they're gonna get away, Naruto, stop, I sense something large what to our left." Naruto turned too late as a green sphere hit him, impacting him hard as he was sent to the ground as he tried leaping over a building. He crashed into the roof, falling through several floors of a luckily abandoned building. His arm was broken, that much he could tell, but he was already getting healed by Kurama. Leaping out of the hole he had made on impact, flipping forward as he landed on the roof, Naruto saw someone in a black cloak and wearing a white mask floating just up on a skyscraper. Growling, he watched as the cloaked figure flashed away in green. His eyes opened as he felt chakra coming from the person. He stood there, breathing hard as blood slowly came from his mouth. He gripped his good fist over his shoulder. "Kurama, did you feel that? That was yes, that was Shime's chakra, but that's impossible. Why I found Shime inside of us, his chakra is almost completely gone through and he's unconscious along with the other tailed beasts." Naruto took a deep breath as he deactivated Nine Tails chakra mode, taking a seat on the broken roof, shaking his head. That sphere felt like a wind version of a truth-seeking sphere. There is more to this world, to what Ozpin probably knows, but it was weird. There was no way they've kept hidden unless they knew we'd be pursuing, unless they knew about us. I don't like that notion, because it means that Kaguya has a hand in this, but that can't be possible, that's not likely, but we'll have to be careful, I sense someone coming. "Dead on your knees." Naruto heard someone scream, seeing a man dressed in a uniform holding a gun up to him. Naruto sighed, rolling his eyes, and here I thought my luck couldn't get worse. Chapter 5. So Blake is killing the Poles. Sitting in a jail cell, the blonde was laying against the wall, sighing as he mutters aloud, "Well, this isn't the first time. A few times as a child when they got you stealing apples, one time falsely as a child in the academy, and then a couple over the course of your entire shinobi career, one huge conspiracy. You know all you need to do is break the bars open, walk out, and then just fight your way." "Bad move, Kurama, but aren't we going to discuss how the others are in me? Better yet, how they're inside of me, but their chakra is currently residing in another person. The same person who just broke my arm, helped criminals escape, and to top it off slightly pissed us off." Naruto mused to Kurama, giving him a very long line of questioning. "The 8 trigram seal in you evolved, what once was a person is now like a literal temple, there are different spots in the seal for each of us. I am at the very center of it, the swirl. The others are around me, the writing on your stomach before forming the barrier in the over the center, each like is a separate area of your evolved seal, due to the 6 paths in Jutsu chakra." Kurama growled slightly as he dragged Naruto into his subconscious. Opening his eyes open, finding himself in a forest area, Naruto looked around. He then saw Kurama sitting on the ground in a very large clearing, surrounded by giant trees. The blonde blinked for a minute, he wondered where the sower had gone, then he saw the torii gates leading in 8 different pathways. Each gate was marked with a symbol, a kanji. Tanuki.cat turtle monkey horse dolphin slug beetle. Ox octopus. Wow, Naruto rubbed his head and found that he had no fox ears now, what the? In your subconscious, you display yourself as you were prior to the venture we took through time it seems, perhaps my earlier theory is both correct and incorrect. We may have traveled through time, but, as for you taking upon these animalistic features is still baffling. Naruto, Kurama spoke as he raised his head up, your seal has evolved to allow us to create pocket worlds inside to fit us. In case you were wondering where the sower went, that no longer exists, that was just your overall outlook on life. Blinking once, Naruto then chuckled, so what does my own look like then? Given that you have yet to turn around, Naruto turns around as Kurama speaks and sees a black hole just sitting there, due to your confusion your mind doesn't know how it feels about the situation. I have seen it changed into a forest that never stops raining, to the city we were just in, but back to confusion. Naruto takes a deep breath, but that still doesn't explain a lot, why are all the tailed beasts here, but not their chakra? You died, Naruto's eyes widened at Kurama's words, when your heart stops beating we will start fading from you. Our chakra will disperse before our bodies dissolve, and when you were going toward the black hole inside of the what we will call a time rip, I could their chakra being pulled away. Naruto growled as he realized something, that bitch, Kaguya. I had feared, but if it's true she stole some of your chakra in the clash and then got kicked away into her own rip. What we thought was outside of sphere was just the rip itself, we collapsed that sphere into a black hole, whatever dimension we were in was likely obliterated when we did. In turn, however, we saved all others. A sacrifice, Kurama lowered his head, for the greater good. But, whoever attacked us couldn't have been Kaguya, she's way too powerful to just break my arm. Plus, I felt the object that hit me, it was nothing but Jime's chakra, it was like a truth-seeking sphere made purely of wind nature chakra. If they had shaped it, Naruto grimaced, could have done more than broke my arm. Indeed, Kurama agrees and then takes a deep breath, we should investigate on our own. Ozpin is not seeking to harm us, but I do not fully trust him. He's much more powerful than he lets on, I can sense the usage of nature chakra inside of him, he's lying about a couple of things as well. Not to mention the energy we felt under Beacon, which we will explore later when they think we're ignorant of the fact. Fine by me, Naruto sat down and crossed his legs, leave one world with problems and come to another. Our luck sucks buddy, telling you that now, I thought foxes were supposed to be lucky. Haha, Kurama lightly growls with a large smile on his face, if that were the case we would have never met. Well screw you too, Naruto stuck his tongue out Kurama, really felt the love with that one. We could you know I am a female. Kurama stated, watching as Naruto looked at him or her. Then his eyes went wide and white and then he screamed, "Ay." Kurama howls in laughter as he threw his head back, roaring out as he fell backward and clutched his stomach, you fell for it. You are such a dolt if I was female fox I most certainly choose a better mate than so snout-nosed upstart of a brat. Naruto's eyes twitched a little bit, oh wow, thank you for that constructive criticism. Bastard fox. Little brat overgrown furball short stuff. They stopped, with Kurama sinking his head, and I lost. Wouldn't be the first time, Naruto shrugs as he smirked, that was a bad insult, Kurama. Unless I was talking about oh no, no you're not, because we both know better. We found out the reason you created that sexy jutsu I plead on that one, never have I ever used it for that. Naruto laughed as he called back to a memory, remember just right after I got back from my training trip in the hot springs, I caught a few girls spying on me. That was the day I realized that there are indeed female Jiraiya, Naruto blushed brightly as he rubbed the back of his head, I felt really proud and really creeped out at the same time. Women are complicated. How would you know I am a tailed beast, a being made of chakra, have you stopped to consider that I could use jutsu as well holy shit. Kurama chuckled, I wasn't always such an ass back in the day, in fact, I was known as a suave man by the name Hiroko Taka in the ages, before Shinobi really got their foothold. After each conquest, be it a simple farm girl or even a princess, I would always etch their name into my heart. Oh god, Naruto pinched his nose, can I get asshole Kurama back now please? No, Kurama bluntly stated as he laughed, beside this was thousands of years ago before I met you. So, technically my years of exploration were done before you tailless monkeys started building industry and using chakra commonly. Well, Naruto blushed, what was the best girls like? You'd be surprised, Kurama took a deep breath, priestesses. Naruto then realized something, more like someone, Shinobi that sucks. It was one of the few times I was going to be cordial to you, given that emotion during such actions run high, and back then it made it easy for me to come out wait, so I could have been in you that's actually scary, Kurama. Kurama laughed a little bit, all is fair in love and war, Naruto. Well, put a sock in it, because we're not doing anything like that here. If we have a slim chance of going home, I don't want to grow too attached to a girl here, Naruto sighed as he looked up into the fall sky. Strange, this almost feels like Konoha. I modeled this pocket dimension on Konoha's Forest of Death, just a much more pleasant version that's cool. But back to Kaguya, if she escaped the sphere, where is she now? And why didn't she come and kill me? That is the million Ryo question. Where would she be? Perhaps she was beaten. A goddess is beaten by someone else. Now that's a scary thought. Then again, she exited much earlier than us. Perhaps she got flung much earlier. In time. I doubt she's still alive now. Right, she must be dust. Kurama sighed, we can only hope. And Leo walked toward the cell holding the teen with a broken arm. Rise and shine, animal. Naruto's eyes snapped open, the officer backed up as he saw the red glow emanating from them and glare right at him before they turned blue. He took a deep breath. You've got your bail paid, plus we're getting confirmation you're a huntsman in training, so you had a legal duty to pursue the bulwark. The officer gritted his teeth, don't go lunging at people now. Naruto sighed, I'm not even going to ask if that was racism or not, because trust me, your threats are very hollow there, sir. Watch your mouth. The man stepped back from the cell. Right here, sir. Ozpin came walking toward the cell, sighing, welcome to Vale. Heh, Naruto chuckled as he watched the officer leave, kind of miss home even more now. Nothing like that would have ever happened where I am from, too many eyes and ears. Indeed, menagerie has a lot of eyes and ears, yeah, it does. Naruto noticed that Ozpin subtly pointed toward a camera on the wall with his eye, he caught onto it as he got up, so when can I leave? A couple of hours, I just got out of a meeting with a very interesting girl. She'll be a younger going to my school, very skilled and holds a unique spark, a spark I sense within you as well. Tell me something, Naruto Uzumaki, how did you break your arm? Ozpin questioned as he crossed his arms with his cane still in hand. Puffing slightly, Naruto smirked, things got a little bit more interesting. Indeed, Ozpin says as he eyed Naruto, it has. Your semblance is very strong, I reviewed the footage over and over, you easily could have taken them out. I don't aim to kill, Naruto tells him while occasionally looking at the camera by moving his eyes and not his head, I aim to get answers. The most crucial thing we aim for answers to why, and indeed why did they rob a dust shop and take only high-grade dust? Perhaps we could use a huntsman to investigate, Ozpin walked toward the cell door. Ozpin then smirked, you done well. Naruto watched as he exited the cell, watching as a girl wearing the same clothing he had seen in the small fight walked toward the cell, she was placed inside of it. She looked nervous as she sat down on a bed and then noticed the blonde in front of her. Holy crap, they locked you up. I thought you were Hunter, wow, you've gotta be kidding me. See, I thought I was just crazy, but you're actually in the cell with me. She nearly screamed several times, just wow, you kind of saved me a little back there. She then rubbed the back of her head, extending her hand out. Ruby rose. Uzumaki Naruto shook her hand, I'm not staying here much longer. Yeah, me neither, they got to wait for my dad to sign me out, since I'm a minor. Well, I know that feeling, yeah, but I'm not scared, I didn't do anything wrong. Why? Oh, you didn't, you were doing what you were obviously trained to do exactly. Ruby huffed like a child, took my baby from me. Naruto's eyes widened, why you're a mother, but you're so young. Ruby blushed as she looked at him, not exactly, my baby is my weapon. They took my baby from me, gah, come on dad, get here already. The blonde rubbed the back of his head, okay then. His ears flickered as his frown came back, I'm going to have changed how I look in my subconscious, can't keep switching between human and this front is stingy every time I go in the rabbit hole. He chuckled, rabbit hole. Hormones took over as he suddenly imagined a sort of naked Kaguya covered by the clouds like his sexy jutsu would be, he blushed madly before going green in the face, oh god why? You know, frankly, she is the literal definition of a goddess still, she's ancient still a goddess. You alright there Foxy, you kind of look like you're about puke, Ruby called out to him. Foxy, Naruto then frowned as his ears flickered, I really wish they'd quit doing that. Oh, but they're adorable, Ruby said as she leaned back on the wall. Naruto shrugs, if you say so, this kind of sucks. Not the first time I've been a cell, but I'm not in co-menagerie. Oh, so you are a criminal. Not really, I was messed up a little as a kid, kind of had rotten food delivered to my home. Plus, the social workers from I am from hated me, Naruto grimaced at the memories, and it took forever to get stuff straightened up. Is it because you're a faunus, people are such butts when it comes to you guys, you're actually pretty cool you know. I mean, I have a dog, I kind of wish I had cute dog ears. Then again, Ruby rubbed the back of her head, I probably wouldn't be able to eat cookies. Naruto blinked once, twice, cookies. Yes, I'm quite curious, what are cookies? I don't know, this is the first I'm hearing of this food, damn it all now I'm hungry. Have they fed you yet by chance? Ruby heard his stomach growl. I got an entire plate of cookies earlier haha. Naruto growled as he realized that he has been here about 5 hours without any sort of food, even water, and got up. Slowly walking toward the bars, kind of pissed Ozpin even forgot about him and then tapped on the bar themselves. What is it? The guard said, you'll be going free in a couple of hours. Yeah, about that, can I please get something to eat? Yo, you just had food. No, I didn't, I've been here nearly 5 hours and I've not had anything. It says on the scheduling you did well, the scheduling is bullshit. Ow. Naruto turned to Ruby who had thrown her scroll at him with a childish face, foul language. Well, warn me next time. Naruto slightly barked at her as he rubbed his head. Anyway, please can I get something to eat? Dude, look, it said on your schedule you had food. I'm not about to go through a hassle for your kind when you have just a couple of hours before release, the guard stated as he crossed his arms, deal with it. Naruto growled, clenching his fists as his eyes turned red, calm down Kurama. This is what I Fronus deal with, what that man talked about in the hospital. I see humanity acts like Fronus are the new Jinchuriki in a way. Fools, the lot of them, it seems that some things did not change. He sat back down on the bed, crossing his legs as he glared at the guard, tapping his shoulder. Ruby kept quiet as she looked at his expression, his eyes changing from blue to red as she noticed him shaking in his leg. Hey, Ruby reached into her hood, it may seem weird, but I took a cookie with me. She tossed a piece of food over toward Naruto, he caught it, noting the little black dots in the breading. It was hard, but he could feel it was sort of soft on the inside, taking a deep breath as he sniffed it and found a sweet aroma. So, Naruto took a whiff of the black bits, is this the cookie you were talking about? What? You don't know what a cookie is, it's like the best food there is, just surpassed by strawberries. Ruby exclaims, you must taste it, you must relish it, all praise be the mighty chocolate chip cookie. Naruto chuckled, fine, he took a bite out of it. His eyes dilated and Ruby watched as he quickly bit into the other portions, wow mama. See, ain't it the best darn thing? Yeah, it is, wow they're really sugary I know right, I'm an hulker I can still it's happening to me until kingsafist. Ruby laughs, sugar rush. Haha, and so the existential crisis begins. The hell it does, I would kill for a bowl of ramen right now, literally kill, but is it truly as good as you're making it out to be? Yes. Naruto shakes as he waves his hands in front of him, he laughs as he raised his arms up, that hit the energy spot. Will you two just shut up in there, the guard stated, besides you're not supposed to share food. Boy, what's your problem? Naruto yelled as he got up from the bed. My problem is you, fox boy, the guard insulted. However, Naruto just took a step back away from the cell, taking a deep breath. Hey look, it's the fox boy, yeah, look at him, with those ugly whiskers, fox boyfoxy fox boyo, he wants his mommy hahaha. Naruto, can we know, because then that'll just reveal us for what we are. I hate this human, he has a stench, I can sense evil from him, some of the other Fronus in these cells are innocent, and I can sense it. We will help them, later, but we'll to do what we can here first to get used to the future. Naruto sighed as he backed away from the cell door, whatever, don't yell at her though. The guard scoffed as he watched Naruto take a seat back on the bed, shaking harder than last time. The blonde realized that the guard was trying to bait him. Taking a deep breath, making sure to keep his nerves calm, he smirked as he came up with a plan. It wouldn't be today, probably not tomorrow, but this guard was getting some good old-fashioned revenge pranking. May whatever god help his soul, Naruto Uzumaki didn't play when it came to revenge pranking, perhaps it was something could have been used against Madara. And again, he wouldn't think to dye the Uchiha's ghost's hair pink would be very bright in the middle of a war, but he knew the first Hokage would lose his shit over it, and maybe even Madara himself would just be too embarrassed to continue. As childish as the thought was, it had been legendary if it happened, even more if he survived Madara bringing down the moon in anger. Naruto just sat there, sighing as he leaned back. Can't believe we had someone that powerful following us, an orange-haired man in a bowler hat stated, thought you had it covered, Cinder. The woman named Cinder turned to him, well excuse me if my fall maiden powers couldn't stop an expert hunter. That hunter was no expert, not even a huntsman, a figure in a mask suddenly emerged from the shadows. The figure was feminine, removing her mask to reveal dark red eyes and green hair, Lady Cinder. You alright, you don't look so good. I used a lot of the power to get to you and blast him back, but there is no doubt he was using the same power to hunt you. You killed him. Emerald sighs, no, unfortunately since Salem is going to angry that I openly used the power she lent me. Indeed, they all turned to a man wearing a red mask, she will be. What do you want, Sanger? Emerald questioned as she saw the man hold up his clawed hand. Just to let you know my assassination of a little spy went as planned, didn't put up a fight, I merely broke her neck. Poor little bird stood no chance against me, Sanger says as he looked at his claws through the mask, my family has served the All-Mother for generations. The white fang is powerful, Cinder says as she takes a seat, it'd be better to bring them into the fold rather than fight. Yes, Sanger agrees and then looks toward Emerald, this being you fought. What did he look like? Blonde hair, blue eyes, fox ears. He had this weird golden energy around him, despite me sensing that it was a separate power within him kind of like us, just more complete. Emerald explained as best she could, crossing her arms, I need some of that chakra before I run out and my seal deteriorates. The gateway seal is placed, Sanger points toward a backroom, go and recharge yourself. Yes, Cinder I'm coming as well, need to report these findings directly. Sanger watched as both walked toward the backroom, a bright light emanated from it before they disappeared from his view, he then turned to Roman. His claws tapping on his shoulder, the hood of his cloak coming down to reveal spiky black hair. Roman, Sanger calls as he takes a seat, tell me more about this huntsman. Naruto walked out of the jail, stretching as he looked toward Taeyang, hey. Boy, Naruto, you certainly work fast. Taeyang said as he extended his hand, haven't seen you since laying in a hospital bed nearly a week ago. The younger blonde rubbed the back of his, yeah, why are you up here? My daughter, Ruby waved her hands at Naruto, Ruby. Oh, that's your daughter yeah. I don't see it well, she doesn't take after me much, save the attitude can't wait to meet the mom, if I ever swing by wherever you are, in Pacha and well. Taeyang sighed, her mother is among us anymore. Naruto put a hand to his mouth, feeling like an ass, I'm so sorry. You're fine, a detail left out, Taeyang rubbed the back of his head. He then heard Naruto's stomach grumble, you hungry there, kid? Don't get me started, the guards there are racists, I can smell it on them. I swear some of those people in there are innocent of the crimes they're being locked up for, Naruto then sighed, gut feeling. Aye, but you're out, you should go back to Beacon. Ozpin is probably waiting on you, plus school starts in a day. Taeyang pointed out. Yay, Naruto rolled his eyes, school. Ruby's voice was heard as she stared at him, we're gonna be going to school together. New friend? Taeyang questioned as he looked at his daughter. Ruby nodded, hey, Naruto where's your baby at? I don't have a weapon, I am the weapon, Naruto states with gusto. Taeyang laughed, hey now, don't be worming yourself into my daughter's heart there. That laugh wasn't meant to express humor, it was the type of laugh someone gave when they were tired and they were trying to warn you. Naruto then blushed a little, turning back to him as he bowed a little bit. Didn't mean it like that, Naruto says in apology, but I can't wait to see what Beacon has to offer. Sighing as he walked toward a dorm room, he went to reach for the handle and walk through the door. Instead, he slammed into it, nose first, he growled as he felt his was slightly broken. He fumbled as he began to turn the knob. Okay, Naruto knocked on it and received no answer, what the hell. He didn't get a key, he got one of those scrolls, but he didn't get a key. Is Ozpin trying to piss me off because I smell food in there and I'm hungry break it finally. Naruto reached back, his fist being caught, goddammit. He turned to see a pudgy man holding his fist, why hello there new blood, what seems to be your boggle? I can't get my dorm room open, Oz didn't hand me a key, it is locked. You foolish lad, we don't use keys here or not exactly, here. The pudgy man grabbed the scroll, looking at it as he found the application of Naruto's dorm room, click this here. Naruto clicked and heard the door click open, he then sighed, is everything here like this? Not the bathrooms, but the showers in the dorm rooms are activated by your scroll. It can be set to a specific heat, desired flow, and music if you wish. I am Professor Peter Port, he holds his hand out as Naruto went to the door and watched him open, I am the resident hero and Grimm Slayer. The young boy in front of him rubbed the back of his head, well nice to meet you, I'm Naruto Uzumaki. Interesting name, Port said as he rubbed his chin, well congratulations on making it to Beacon Sunny. Hopefully, you'll be an attentive student, a great warrior, and able-bodied. Naruto laughed nervously as he shook the man's hand, you've got no idea, he then breaks contact with a respectful bow. Closing the door, turning around he nearly wanted to screech as he saw Raymond laying on dinner cart. He swore he heard a choir in his head and fell to his knees, you are listening. He got up as he ran toward it, quickly grabbing the chopsticks on the cart and hopped on the lone bed as he began to dig into the bowl rapidly. He took notes of the clothing at the end of the room, reading a note on them. In exchange for this kindness, I only ask you help, welcome to Beacon, Uzumaki Naruto. Chapter 6. Naruto walked inside of the bathroom after taking a nap on the bed, it was springy, a little uncomfortable to the mats he was used to sleeping on back home. Taking a deep breath, he noted that few things in the modern era as Naruto wanted to call it looked similar even in the bathroom. Electrical work ran through the walls, powered by power relays from power stations across Vale herself, the shower and bath he had in his room looked extremely different. The tub itself was raised from the ground instead of lowered, it was made of porcelain instead of stone or hardwood. He noted these mats in the tub, obviously like the ones he was standing on himself, they were surprisingly warm to his feet. His hands gripped a toothbrush and looked in the mirror as he opened his mouth. His teeth were yellow from where he hadn't brushed them in almost a week. Hadn't had the chance. Scrubbing his teeth with a minty fresh paste, it slightly burned his tongue. He was used to using the charcoal paste in him that was easily available in the stores. Spitting into the sink, bending down into it, he never noticed a sensor turn as cold water poured into his head. The sudden distraction made him raise his head up too fast to avoid the faucet, smacking himself in the back of the head as he fell forward into the sink and slipped out before hitting his head on the door. He had swirls in his eyes as he had a lump rise on the back of his head. Ow, Naruto moaned in pain. The hell was that? I don't know, investigated. I'm not exactly in a good mood, shitty bed ironically, can never complain about that here, because I can make anything I wish. Of course you can furball. Naruto looked at the sink, he didn't see any handles, sighing he then reached into it. His eyes widened when the faucet turned on, water pouring on his hand before quickly cutting off. He eyed it as he moved his hands under it, nothing. He then rubbed them under the sensor, that's when the water finally came back on, He saw a red blinking as the water ran, becoming a solid as the water stopped. Taking a deep breath, he watched as the water came back and it began blinking. He experimented with it a few minutes. Shrugging as he bent his head under it and took a few gulps of the water as it poured down. Sighing in contentment he stretched, his lean body flexing in the mirror. He had 2 large scars on his chest, courtesy of Sasuke and Kaguya. The one near his lung was when he was a kid, Sasuke's Chidori ramming through him, while Kaguya's had just been in center mass. Luckily Kurama was there for both, otherwise, he'd never made this far. He had a smaller scar on his right hand from when he stabbed it back in the wave mission to seal his blood oath to never run away when his friends were in danger or freeze. Taking a deep breath, he traced the scar, he had sought to repay Sasuke back for it one day. Taking a deep breath as he walked back and leaned against the door, staring into the mirror, he just looked at himself. It felt weird, this near ears, and this world. In this world from what he observed so far that people had a reliance on tech over themselves. It conflicted with him, for once he felt some sort of hatred for it all, despite how the world seemed plagued with Grimm, he viewed a lot of the people as soft. Ruby, for how sweet she was romanticizing being these huntsmen. It was no different when he was 7 until he saw someone killed in front of him by his father figure Iruka. To live and serve. To bleed one's blood and protect. To take life, to save one's friend. He'd done all those things, he did what he was supposed to do, he made an even greater sacrifice to save the world, his world anyway. Throwing away all his burdens, intent to die with an enemy hellbent on destroying all that he loved, but like Phoenix, he came back from the ashes it seemed. Not worse for wear either, heavy 2 ears. He scratched his hair, watching dandruff fall out of it, he hadn't showered since training with B. That was a good week and a half ago, and he fought a war for almost 4 days straight before taking on a goddess. Walking toward a small closet in the bathroom he opened to see pure white towels, sighing, he grabs a couple as he placed them on the toilet. Proceeding to remove his pants and underwear, the blonde then grabbed his scroll from the pants pocket. Alright, Naruto murmurs, let us see if we can get one thing to work with us. Placing his fingers on a shower icon he saw these little things bounce on screen, confused he just presses the first icon that was bouncing, which was a pair of snowflake flame conjoined twin symbols. He saw information on his scroll. Temperature. 80 degrees. Okay, Kurama, what's a good steaming bath temperature? Are they really that intuitive to details? It appears so, which is weird. Soft bellies, haha, I'd say 100. Well, let's give it a shot. Naruto tapped the screen and made sure that the screen read out 100 degrees exactly, he chuckled a little bit, not so bad. He then went to the next icon which was flow rate and direction. Looking into the bath and shower he saw that it had 2 nozzles at the top, both pointed exactly toward the center, he blinked as he just simply went back to his scroll. Tapping the screen, tapping a faucet icon, he shrugged. Are you frigging kidding me? I have to put a drain on or off on this thing, why can't I just frigging put a plug? Naruto yelled as he noted that it took him a drain icon, seriously, who needs this much detail? Naruto then accidentally hit the back arrow, it sent him all the way back to the main screen, damn it. He brought it back up, then noted with a twitch in his eye, I've got to enter all that again. He growled as he entered the temperature, clicked the faucet button, and then went to flow rate. Why the hell would anyone want a flow rate? What the actual hell was this place? Was this a combat school or a 5-star hotel? Sighing as he just clicked on fast and went about to ambience. Ambience, what was that word and what did it mean? Kurama, what is ambience? You're serious? I didn't stutter. Oh. Someone's a little cranky today, just please help me out, I don't feel like accidentally pressing an alarm button here, I just want a bath in peace. It means the state of a place, like an ambience was dark and silent. Really, well Naruto clicked a dim ambience on the scroll, the lights dimmed and he puckered his lips a little, you know this isn't so bad. The blonde reached and grabbed a towel from the closet, deciding to grab a third towel to use as a pillow. Walking toward the tub, taking a deep breath as he stepped in it, he then looked at the music option and shrugged. Okay, Naruto pressed the music icon, can't be that much muss holy shit. Metal heavy metal country rock classic opera. Hip hop. Rap violin piano atmospheric R&B frontis blues baby death metal Atlassian classics Mistralian classics Vacuoian classics Valyrian classics island beats. Naruto's head spun and then he just laid back in the tub, what the hell is all of this? Groaning he just selects classic, his right eye then twitched his names came up, he growled as he scrolled through them all. Coming to an older looking man by the name of Vivaldi de Mirabella and tapping his name, the selection of musical pieces was small enough for him to read off. 4 seasons, Naruto muttered, well let's give it a shot. It's nearly an hour long anyway and doesn't look like I have to set a timer. Surprise, surprise, Naruto huffs as he tapped the song. A loud combination of various instruments playing in a soft rhythm assaulted his ears, his fox ears fluttered at the sounds of a stringed instrument that sounded like Urhus, but had a lot more strings to them. Taking a deep breath as he then felt the water kick on, the hot steam from it flooded and cleared his nostrils up, but the hot water on his skin was the most comforting part of it all. Shuddering as it finally got up around his body, like a hot blanket, even heating the porcelain bathtub. Laying in the water, noting a sweet aroma, he saw that he didn't even notice that a candle had been lit all this time in the bathroom. The tub filled the water completely to the edge, when Naruto was about to curse and raise up to stop it, it then shuts itself off. Laying back into the towel, breathing deeply, I need a nap. Slowly he closed his eyes. Naruto's eyes opened as he raised up, breathing hard as he looked around, seeing that he was in a hospital bed. Covered in bandages, he then saw a nurse look at him, and she smiled brightly as she pulled down her face cover to reveal that it was Sakura. Welcome back, Naruto, long nap as Sakura-chan ya, who else, you've been gone a long time. How long a few months, you just dropped back in Konoha a few days ago. Naruto blinked, then laughed as he threw his head back into the pillow, holy crap. He took a deep breath as he saw that Sakura was watching him, she sat at the foot of his bed, placing her hand on his as she clutched it. Then the door opened to reveal Sasuke, he was carrying lunch with him to share with Sakura and himself, dropping it to the floor when he noticed Naruto was awake. Naruto. Sasuke yelled as he walked over to the blonde, about time you woke up. I know, I had the weirdest dream, but more on that later. Wow, a few months, any sign of Kaguya? Naruto questioned, wanting to make sure that she didn't come through earlier and people got hurt. Sasuke shook his head, Hagoromo said that she got obliterated in your fight, congratulations dope. You're officially the only shinobi in recorded history to have killed a deity. Wow, Naruto chuckled as he sat up, why do my hands feel numb? They're extremely chakra burned, but the tailed beasts are healing you up nicely, that's a relief, oh man, I can't tell you how feels to see you. HN, don't make it a habit. Oi, bastard, wanna settle it here, and now. Sasuke flicked his forehead, don't make me knock you back out, Dumbus. Laughing, whole and truthful laughing, Naruto just rubbed the back of his head as he took notice of the casts around both of his arms. Taking a deep breath, he patted Sasuke's shoulder, giving him a pantoothy smile. A knock on the door, in came someone that Naruto didn't expect, Hinata. She closed the door behind her, Sasuke and Sakura then looked at one another before smiling and getting up from the bed, they looked at Hinata and nodded. Naruto was about to protest until he saw Hinata sit on his bed, looking at him. Naruto-kun, she looked at him with sad eyes, welcome back. Naruto watched some tears spill from her eyes, Hinata. She then threw herself around him, holding him tightly and sobbed into his shoulder, please don't go away again. Blushing as she cried into his shoulder, slowly he brought his arms around her as best he could, Hinata I. Hinata raised her head, her lavender eyes meeting his, why yes. I promise, Naruto stated as he looked into her very being, I'll be here. Naruto cupped her cheek, slowly both looked at one another before his heart started racing. However, Hinata slowly dissolved into dust in front of him. His eyes widened as tears brimmed at the edges as she disappeared, flowing out of the open window. Hinata. Naruto got up from the bed, falling into a desk, Hinata. He quickly rushed toward the hospital door, stopping himself barely before falling into a giant crater. Konoha was gone, it was all gone. He didn't understand it, where was Sakura, Sasuke? Sasuke, Sakura-chan, Kakashi-sensei. Naruto screams as he looked around, where are you? Haha, Naruto turned to the feminine laughter and found Kaguya standing behind him, hello Ashura. You. Naruto screamed as he noticed the casts had come from his arms, where are my friends? From ash, we came, to dust we return, we're fleeting. Haha, I almost feel sorry for you, because our war is just beginning and it will not end soon. For this won't be quick, it shall be painful, and I'll make sure to milk this world dry until I stand above all others. Kaguya said as she held an image of the world in her hand. The large explosion made Naruto turn back toward the door, the moon. One of the many casualties of our war to follow, Kaguya laughed as she Naruto sank to his knees in the doorway. We are dust in the wind, boy. Why won't you just kill me? You are the greatest sin of all, a slayer of gods. You will suffer. Yo, you are cruel. You took everything away from me. I have still to break you. You'll die trying, bitch. Haha, then it's a gamble I'll gladly take. Kaguya snickered, scoffing him. You chose this path. You forced me. Naruto gripped his fists and turned around. You took all I had. Kaguya no longer stood there, her form bearing no evidence that it had even stood where she had been. Naruto shakes as he feels a cold wind come around him. Turning back toward the door, he saw where the entirety of Konoha was buried under snow, nothing but white remained in his vision. The cackle came from behind him, supple lips pressed near his ear. Welcome home, Uzumaki Naruto. Naruto snapped around and found himself face to face with a woman with ornate hair. She had demonic red eyes, ghostly skin with dark purple veins traveling down her arms. She had the smile of Kaguya, but wasn't Kaguya. Her power, however, much to his shock, was not too far behind. He felt uneasy, nearly wanting to vomit as he looked into her eyes. She gave him an all too familiar grin. The very same Kaguya gave him, the very same stench of power, but it wasn't her. She was someone else, and she merely pointed her hand at him. I'll see you soon, young one. Naruto couldn't protest as he felt himself turn to dust. Water splashed in the tub as Naruto had slipped underwater. He shot up from the water and gasped for air. Kurama. Naruto, I've been yelling for you for the last 10 minutes, you fell underwater. I felt 4-inch chakra appear, then it quickly disappeared. What happened? I don't know, I need to go somewhere now. Naruto flung himself out of the tub, quickly drying off as he got into the main room. Grabbing some fresh clothes in form of black cargo pants, a white t-shirt, and a red jacket. Putting them on, breathing hard, he stopped as he neared the door. Naruto. Kurama. Naruto stops for a moment and then he started shaking as he fell to his knees. I want hinata. Suddenly Naruto found himself sobbing as he hit the ground, burying his head on the floor. I'm so sorry. Naruto, I had a dream, she was right there, I could feel her. Kurama, she's gonna know, and I hate myself for probably causing her pain throughout the rest of her life. If she loved you, like you believe now, she would have honored your sacrifice. What sacrifice? I'm still alive, everyone I knew and love is dead. I may have won the war, Kurama, but I lost the battle. Naruto stated in his mind. He just sat at the door and all this luxury, the future. What have I done to earn it? Everyone probably had to struggle to rebuild and all I've done is basically sleep for thousands of years. You haven't slept. I am stuck in a world where they need people to kill creatures, not other people. The world has gone slightly soft, sure, but this is something you wanted to remember. What? The peace plan, remember, Jiraiya's dream. You haven't forgotten it, have you? The dream of peace. Have you noticed any talk of war recently? There is a combined effort of survival, sure, but a combined effort is a peaceful effort, is it not? You are not a god, Naruto. Even if you stayed inside of your timeline, what makes you think the world wouldn't have fallen? Kurama questioned from within Naruto, and then he sighed. We exist, we live, we decay. We are fleeting, we are not eternal, we only do what we can while we are here. Those words were spoken by my own creator, Hagoromo Otsutsuki. He is a man that died thousands of years before your time. So, Naruto took a deep breath as he heard Kurama. Take a deep breath and calm down. Naruto took a deep breath, calming down as he then heard a knock at the door, getting up soon afterward. Opening his door, he found Ozpin. The man looked at him, smiling. The man had a white box in his hand, he held it out. Care if I join you for some breakfast? He then heard the music coming from the bathroom. Vivaldi de Mirabella. A genius. So, let me get this straight, you're saying that I am certain without a doubt in the far future. Not just a few hundred years, not even 1,000. Naruto questioned as he rubbed the back of his head, looking at the mini flat cakes in the box. And what are these? Ah, those are pancakes. The little container in the box is syrup made from the trees around here. We use rap sap sometimes. Ozpin chuckled as he rubbed the back of his head. It has the same effects as alcohol. Oh, Naruto hummed as he pokes the cake with a fork. So are these sweet like rice cakes? They can be, sometimes they can have blueberries added in, or even chocolate. I believe Ms. Rose shared a cookie with you in jail, not necessarily a good way to start one's journey, but heroes come from the darkest of times and places. So, Ozpin bit into some his eggs. I trust you slept well. Well, Naruto sighed, it's not a futon. Ah, I see, well I sure hope we can accommodate. By the way, Ozpin pointed at his jacket, were you on your way out? I was hoping to go for a light jog, Naruto said as a white lie. He'd been planning to just run until he got tried. Ozpin nods, health is very important, our huntsmen and huntswomen train day and night most times to be up to par. See, that's the thing, why is everything so? Naruto tried to the word for it, futuristic. Ah, well that's certainly a word, but I believe you're looking for automatic. As much I hate to admit, for all purposes, academies like ours are not ran based on true need. Hunters didn't come about until nearly 100 years ago, after a powerful king from Vale taught the first of his knights to wield that aura as a weapon in a sort of old manner. It then quickly spread from there, but humanity did break one condition: it was never supposed to be used against each other. Sad, Ozpin gave Naruto a brief history as he looked at Naruto. We're still under scrutiny. Well, I can understand that, but you all are supposed to be the protectors of the people. Some of us get power hungry, lose our way, and others fall into darker habits. Trust me, that's not needing a history check. Tell me, did you have Grimm in your time? No, these things like everything else is new, we fraud each other all the time though. Ozpin sipped some coffee he had made from coffee maker on Naruto's dresser. So did you have any loved ones? Naruto sighed. Yes, my friends were like my family. I was kind of falling for a girl named Hinata Hyuga, but I'm stuck here now. They're long gone, probably not even dust anymore. I'd give anything to go back and live happily ever after. The older man nodded. I had a wife and child, they were taken from me by a person from my past. I managed to track down the said person and kill them, but it only brought emptiness. I would have given my soul to just go back in time to my son's first birthday. The blonde looked at the silver-haired man. Fate plays an interesting deck of cards for people like you and me. I don't believe in destiny or fate. Interesting, why not? Because, let's say it is my fate to be a hero. I turn around and just jump off a cliff. If you die, it proves you weren't meant to be a hero, but if you lived, it was meant to be. Yo, you have a funny way seeing the world. I just have a realistic view. You make life what you will with the effort you put into it. Instead of being a warrior, I could have been a gardener, but a warrior in a garden is better than a gardener in a war. However, Ozpin finished his coffee. They are both needed and serve the public. I was never bad at growing things, I sort of had a green thumb like my mother, Naruto admits as he rubbed the back of his head. So, what were your plans where you became old enough to marry? Old enough to marry? Yes, 18, correct? No, back where I am from you could be put in a political marriage as young as 10. Ozpin sighed and deprive a young mind of choice. My age was different, you served from day one, your village was your everything. Now, Naruto looks around the room, there is just everything, but no one can relish it all. You know, I find it interesting that you can understand our written language, especially since you're from a more archaic era. Want to reveal the tricks? Ozpin said as he finishes his eggs, or do you wish to wait? No, I suppose in trade for the kindness I can reveal a few things. I'm a reincarnate of an ancient person called Ashura, who's even older than my culture, even Kurama. Thanks to Ashura's soul inhabiting me I can rapidly understand things. I can even understand a language after a few glances, which is how I began to learn your written language after a few stares. I wish I had this back when I was a kid, I'd be unstoppable right now, haha. His father, the sage of 6 paths as my people called him, bestowed me the body of the sage. Basically, Naruto squeezed his hands, it's why I am on a whole other level, like with my friend Sasuke. I assume that this Sasuke was close to you. He was an asshole, but yes, he was close to me. Brothers in arms? No, brothers, just hard lives. Ozpin nodded, misunderstood for what you were able to do. Oh, how would you even know that? Naruto was surprised as he questioned Ozpin with his answer. Ozpin chuckled as he closed his now empty box. I like to think of people as books, some are coded and some are just wide open. You, my friend, are a little bit of both. You said your ancient artifacts are from my era, possibly. Do you gave documents from there as well? Oh, yes, you see we managed to crack a few of these sealing marks, and fresh tomes were extracted. How would you even know how to crack a sealing jutsu experimentation? We've worked tirelessly for years to crack one, and then we found basic patterns. Well, that kind of makes sense, I suppose. Naruto sighed, can I perhaps see them and know where you got them? Actually, yes, I was going to have you look at some of them since we can't fully translate. It would be very helpful toward us, we are scholars as well as warriors, it separates us from soldiers. Knowledge is perhaps mankind's deadliest weapon, perhaps even a curse if you look at it a certain way, but I believe if knowledge is applied toward peace, there is no limit to the wonders we can achieve. Do you, perhaps, believe the same? Ozpin questioned Naruto, you don't seem like a normal futsaliter despite your elevated status. I never liked following orders, Naruto admits as he leaned back on his dresser, and I never really liked to shed blood. The evils of the path you've chosen, Ozpin pointed out as he noticed that Naruto barely touched his food, but one must accept the brutal nature of the need for such things. Save 1000, Naruto mutters, by killing one. It's how my teachers hardened my heart to killing. I haven't taken a lot of people, just a couple. People I saw that were irredeemable, that nothing could bring them back from the darkness. Tell me, Ozpin-san, Naruto sighs as he looked at the ceiling, is there even a god? I believe in gods, a brother god of destruction and a brother god of life. Light existed before darkness, darkness can never beat the light, the sun shall always beat the moon. Duality, Naruto's eyes widened at the comment, given form. That man is hiding something, yeah, because I can feel chakra running through him, but he's not trying to hide it. Perhaps he wants you to not feel alone, yeah, maybe, but I can't shake this feeling he's hiding something. Agreed, don't lose your guard. Naruto, Ozpin got up, go for your jog. I shall return my office if you need me, come by later as well, I'll have those tomes and scrolls ready for you. Just promise me you'll translate them over, fully, and send the translations to me. Naruto nodded, smiling, sure, why not. Naruto was sitting in a library, it was midday on the day before everyone was to start packing in the school for learning. He himself wouldn't be spared that, having already found out that his class scheduling was to be with Dr. Oobleck and Professor Port only, while combat class was an optional sit-in. He was going to go, simply because he needed to be there to see how people fought in this time. He could understand why Ozpin didn't give him that class as a mandatory, perhaps out of fear that he'd accidentally hurt one of the students, or perhaps Naruto was already a two-time war veteran based on his own accounts. First being the Sora Konoha War and then the Fourth Shinobi World War. But, what Naruto had figured out was that the aura over shields that a lot of these huntsmen had wasn't much different than his version 1 cloak at best, even his initial tinge of the Nine Tails chakra produced a similar effect. Aura and chakra weren't that different, save that aura was more uninformed and more controllable to an extent that even chakra. Chakra required practice, thousands of days to master, aura only took a few months to do a lot with. Both still took years to truly master, and since as far as Naruto knew, he was the most powerful chakra user on the world to date, barring the anomaly of being attacked by wind chakra the other day. That's what his clone had read, dispersing soon afterward. It may seem cliché, it may seem like an unfair and lazy thing to do, but if the clones could download and take information to the user, then it was better to use them. Albeit, he was doing it lightly, 4 clones sat next to him at the closed library. When they weren't annoying each other, which was often when one decided to learn how to play a board game just in case Naruto had to blend in, they were doing their duties. Basic history, mathematics, and such. Mathematics may have seemed strange, but it was to make sure that didn't change like the rest of the world did, it did in a way. The new stuff was added, new formulas he never saw. A lot of people back in his day assumed that shinobi were grunts, that was far from the truth, many shinobi were highly intelligent. Orochimaru Shikamaru.ino Sakura Sasu Kakashi Itachi Madara Hashirama Hiruzen Nichi. Dead or alive, they were smarter than what many gave them credit for. Just because they didn't invent things didn't mean they weren't smart. Combat-wise, as much as Naruto loved and hated, he and Madara Uchiha were on an equal level. Something Sasuke can't even hold a candle to, as much as he was called a genius, his strategies were subpar. Naruto was never, has never, and will never be book smart for good reasons. He never needed to be book smart, he had his own trickery, and he learned at an early age that the best tool in the battlefield is what you could imagine with 6 inches between your ears. The reverse harem jutsu, admittedly, was a stroke of luck. It was a divine comedy, sardonically, a fox managing to trick a rabbit in such a way. Despite being thousands of years older, thousands of years wiser, and perhaps thousands of times more unhinged due to it. Kaguya, the mother of all chakra, was tricked by a technique Naruto invented as a child. The child. Tuckling at the table, Naruto couldn't help it, I wonder if she's in the afterlife cursing my name. Perhaps, but that was a stroke of luck. I kind of felt that she was still a woman in a way, so I swung for it and hit a home run. The blow hit her stunned enough, if she hadn't shaken it off last second, we wouldn't be here much like a rabbit escaping a fox's maw in the last moment. I'm telling you, Kami is just an asshole. Meh, maybe so, maybe not. Naruto was sighing as he translated a part of the book he was reading that Ozpin had given him. This book isn't exactly from my time, it's obviously from a much later period. Chakra generators, United Taiyo, what is Taiyo? My clone's reading basic mapping of the world didn't point at a Taiyo, so I'm guessing this what all the shinobi nations united under after the dust settled for a few decades. Naruto looked at the kanji for king and then noticed a name by it, Naruto Uchiha. Son of a bitch, Naruto mutters as he smiles, yes. Naruto got on the table, dancing in celebration as he yells out, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Woohoo, they survived the war. Kurama. Naruto screamed out, holy shit. Indeed, if anyone is bearing the Uchiha name, it'll be from Sasuke at the very least. He would have been one of very few possible Uchiha alive, perhaps out of sympathy they spared him. Yeah, but King Naruto Uchiha, what? There was no king back in my day, so this has to be in a very later period. I mean, chakra generators, floating fortresses similar to the Sora armies, and then you have no mention of shinobi whatsoever. Naruto had read another book, it was even further than this time. That makes 2 books, no mention of shinobi, but the best evidence we've gotten that the shinobi alliance held is currently here. Ozpin mentioned he had more tomes, scrolls, and the likes including actual weapons. Looking at the weapons could give us a more in-depth look. It's a wonderful thing really, to look to the past as the future, and while in the future to see how it all turned out in the end. Still, Naruto leans back as he felt a clone pop, no mention of Grimm in the 2 books we've gotten. And, unfortunately, we are almost at the end of this one as well. Record books didn't change though, still used in the same manner. These were probably in some school somewhere. You did get a drawing of what these continents called Sanus, Draco, and Anima. They look like crumbled up versions of our time's landmass. Yeah, soon as desert mountains are visible in this place called Vacuo, slightly changed. I can see the crescent moon island that used to be off the coast of Kumo. It looks like the desert reached upwards as the continents broke apart. But for this to happen rapidly enough in at least 30,000 years was not natural. I've had the thought, especially with the moon being so close and broken, perhaps the Otsutsuki clan came knocking. Naruto finished the book, sighing, nope. These books have to be nearer to our age if no mention of newer continents or even disasters. Shit, Naruto massaged his temple, someone's behind me. Naruto turned around to find a man with green hair, a thermos in hand, and very thick spectacle glasses. He raised his hands up, seemingly in a surrender until Naruto relaxed. He watched as the man saw his clones. Quite marvelous, I can't tell which one of you is the real one, truly a unique usage of aura. Tell me, are you by chance the boy Ozpin has assigned those tomes to? Can you read these tomes? The man questioned as he took a seat in front of Naruto. I've tried my best to crack them. Naruto blinked. Ozpin told you about me? Yes, don't worry, I'm tight-lipped. I just couldn't believe it for a moment. You're a living fossil of an era that is far gone. Oobleck gushed a little as he looked at the translations. Do you mind? Naruto shrugs. Knock yourself out. Honestly, the best news in there is that my best friend's clan survived somehow. Oh, marvelous, quite marvelous. There are dozens of base translations. I can see one for a king named Naruto Uchiha here. Interesting, yet I don't see anything about a goddess in here nor Grimm. Oobleck sighed at the end of his rapid-fire overlook of them. How were you able to translate these so fast? I had a clone look at the first book, while the others study basic stuff from this era, and I hate to say this, but what I found is annoying. I mean, Naruto took a deep breath, war's fraud of land that you all had easy access to, since most of it was occupied by Grimm. Why not, I don't know, just fight them instead of each other. I often ask myself that. Humanity has a big fault. It's our obsessive need for war. Oobleck took a deep breath, almost see tomes validate our existence. Yeah, well, that worked out well. What happened? Thousands, if hundreds of thousands died, and for what? Just for the kingdoms to agree on a joint territory. When I got here, Ozpin mentioned something about barbarism to me from my time concerning how we use child soldiers, but your time has its own messed up issues. Naruto said as he crossed his arms. Oobleck nodded. You're pretty sharp there. I was always sort of what you all call a maverick. I don't follow orders, and I usually did better when I went to things on my own in a way. However, I never abandoned my friends, and I most certainly didn't fight stupid battles. I can see, Naruto sighs, for all the glitz and glamour it's not gold. All that glitters are not always gold. Oobleck nods as he sighed. I personally just try to understand that until recently humanity was just contempt at each other. Agreed. Then Naruto felt a clone pop as it tossed him a history book and he opened it to a page about Franus, racism. You seem familiar with it. Before I had these fox ears, I had the fox whiskers. Interesting. Wait. Oobleck looked at the translations. It states in the translations that Franus were around your time. A few hundred years probably after everyone bit the dust. Former king Ichigo Uchiha led an expedition south, finding a population of animal-like humanoids, proceeding to establish a sort of distant trade. Naruto points out, it seems no one knew really how far humans and Franus stretched back. Still simply marvelous, but with no mention of Grimm, one wonders how our world descended into such a state. Oobleck questioned as he scratched his chin. You wouldn't happen to know, would you? Not a clue, not yet at least. I'm running with a few theories though. Naruto said as he leaned back, shaking his head. You're not so bad by the way. Oh, well thank you Mr. Uzumaki. I never learned your name Bartholomew Oobleck, but please call me Dr. Oobleck. I went to school for the degree. Alright, Dr. Oobleck, so what do you know? Well, most of our history was lost after the First Crusade. Where Grimm suddenly grew larger and more violent. They had been around during the most advanced times of humanity, before they were just a threat entirely. From what I read, a good 6,000 years ago, humanity regarded Grimm as some nuisances before they actually became the biggest threat we faced. Oobleck explained what he knew as he sighed. Perhaps it's our hubris. Everyone takes things less serious until it comes back around. Naruto agrees as he leans back in his chair. He then sighed. So you, Ozpin, Taeyang, Crow, who else? Everyone on the staff, Ozpin told him as he sipped from the thermos. Coffee? No thank you, Naruto tells the man with a small smile, but do you have any tea down in the eatery? The cafeteria is closed, but there is a hybrid tea and coffee shop nearby in Vale. Let me just clean up here, hey boys. Naruto's remaining few clones looked at him, put the books up. The blonde chugs down a glass of tea, ah yeah, that's the stuff. Windrunner, Oobleck puckered his lips, that is sweet tea. I know, it tastes almost like home, I like tea. I thought, well, after getting everything set and done to buy some land. Farm it, you know, leave something. Well, Naruto swished the tea in the glass, was my plan anyway. Ah, Oobleck finished taking a chug out of his thermos, but you still could. The options, the cards, they're only gone once you make them gone. True, Naruto finished his glass of tea off, still though not all the same. Well, history always had a way of calling upon mortal men to become something better, perhaps it has selected you. You see, I am a firm believer that sometimes people are chosen by circumstance to either become something better than themselves or falter. Your story kind of touched me, from what Ozpin told me, I'm truly sorry you've got to go through this. Oobleck told Naruto as he finished his coffee, on that note I need more coffee. Yeah, Naruto sighs as he looked at his tea, I could use some more tea. Both got up, walking together as they reached their respective servers and getting the thing they wanted. On his way back to the table, stepping in thought as he looked at the tea. Sorry about this too, perhaps I should have listened to Sasuke and Sakura, I probably acted too hastily like I usually do. Kakashi-sensei always said that one day would bite me in the ass, he chuckled as he thought of the words, pervert wasn't wrong. Naruto, eh? Naruto bumps into someone hard enough to make them nearly fall back, luckily, he reached out in time to grab their arm to keep them from falling, he sighed as he looked up from the floor. That's when his eyes met with bright amber. It was a girl, pale in complexion, long silky black hair. She had a bow in her hair, a nice figure, and she was slightly blushing. He just stood there for a moment, then realized that he was holding on by accident still in habit, he let go and noticed that porcelain was laying across the ground. About time you let go, geez, are you blind or something ah well sorry. The girl sighed, whatever, you spilled tea on you by the way. Naruto looked down, his face blushed as he noticed where the tea spilled, oh come on. Boy, Naruto, did you pee yourself or did a beautiful woman excite you way too much? Shut up, Kurama, nope, never, and this is hilarious. Oi, why didn't you warn me I am a fox, I think this shit is funny, do the math genius. Naruto's fist gripped hard, damn traitor. Naruto sighed as he just walked back over the seat as a servant came to clean up the broken pieces, grabbing napkins, meanwhile he heard chuckling from Oobleck. The man was struggling to hold himself together, so the blonde just hit his head in embarrassment. Just my rotten luck, Naruto murmurs as he looked at his pants before throwing them in the hamper, the first day on the town to enjoy it and bam. Looks like I pissed myself, gah, and in front of a good-looking girl as well. A knock came at his door, slipping on some baggy shorts. Naruto walks over to answer it, it was Ozpin. He had more books in his hands, he smiled, looking at Naruto. Hey, Ozpin showed him older books, your translations gave me some good insight along with Dr. Oobleck. Glad I could be some help, but none of them say anything about Grimm. Well, most of these are old, preserved in those seals I was talking about. If you could let me go to these places, I bet I could find more stuff. All in due time, young man, Oobleck told me you had a run-in. Yeah, let's not talk about that. Oh, very well then, just so you know tomorrow you'll have to be at the auditorium with the rest of the students. So, Ozpin watched as Naruto looked at the tomes, don't work too hard. Naruto watched as the door closes, sighing, easy for you to say. Shadow clone jutsu, Naruto's chakra made a screech as 5 clones appeared in puffs of smoke around his room, he went over to the door and locked it. He stretched out, alright everyone, let's get to work. Boy, boss, can we play some music? Yeah, geez, the library was boring as hell, come on. Naruto waved his hands, sighing, he pulled his scroll out. Looking at it, slowly going to a music note app button. He pressed it, looking at the insane amount of music on it, he kind of liked classical music, but was wanting to try something else. What is? Naruto clicked one, electronic rock. Doki-yo, Doki-yo. A sudden noise caught all the Narutos by surprise, each of them forming Rasengan, then drums began to sound as a loud instrument began to play. Shrugging he then walks down into the circle of clones, taking the time read his own tome. Alright, let me know if anyone encounters anything to do with Sasuke, Sakura, tailed beasts, ourselves, Konoha, Gaara, anything we pretty much know and love, Naruto ordered as he began to read his own tome, his right hand focused on writing the detailed translations. It was well into the night. Naruto's clones had nearly finished their work. However, one finally popped and Naruto's eyes widened at the information he had gotten, and it was so amazing he dropped the pen he had been using to translate. He smiled, tears streamed down his eyes, 7th Hokage, Ichiha Sasuke. All the other clones popped, he looked at the tome that had it, it wasn't a tome, it was a journal. The blonde knew Sasuke loved to write his journals like one big letter, a series of them. Never signed at the end, till the very last entry. Naruto took a deep breath, then chuckled, bastard actually got it. Getting up, looking around, he then walked to his dresser and hid Sasuke's journal under a pile of clothing. He was going to hold on to anything he could find relating to his friends, judging by the journal he just read it was at least 10 years after the war ended. He also was proud to say that Sasuke mentioned him a couple of times, which spurred his reading on further, but none more so than the other entry involving Sakura. She and he had gotten hitched a couple of years after the war as detailed in anniversary entry. Each of those entries was once a month, so this journal covered at least 3 years, and it was with that Naruto got his first look into what post-Fourth Shinobi World War looked like. Perhaps he could convince Ozpin to allow to visit the site he found that journal from, then make his way around to find others, if they still existed there. Sasuke also had 4 children, and Naruto held their names in his heart. Sarada, the oldest Itachi, the firstborn boy, and heir Neji, named after their fallen comrade Naruto, obviously Sasuke's little play on his name. The journal indicated that Sakura had been pregnant with a 5th child, but there was mention of a name, so she could have still been pregnant at the time. Sasuke is forced to stay in Konoha due to his position probably gave him all the time in the world to Sakura, which meant they were like rabbits. That image filled Naruto his head and made him turn green, damn you bastard, even from the grave. He wiped his face off, then it started to hit him as he realized that was a time he never got to have. Biting his lip, struggling not to, he fails miserably, as he could only imagine what the kids must have looked like. That asshole of a friend of his smiling, holding a baby, probably crying himself with a smile. The light crying gave way to sobs as he fell to his knees, holding his hands to his face. He breathes harder and harder as he struggled to find words and reason to stand up. He grips his fists as he ran toward the window, opening and then jumping out of it. Naruto. Naruto was in his Biju form as he skated through Emerald Forest. He was breathing hard as he came to a large river, staring out at it. Sighing as he took a minute, staring out into the clear waters, he just looked at his hand soon afterward. Kurama, Naruto sighs, I just don't understand it. The chakra around Naruto began to increase as he growls, I should have been there, it's not right. I didn't get my happy ending, I'm stuck here, hey Kami. Kami, why are you such an asshole? Naruto screamed at the sky. Naruto flicked the sky off, at least finish me off, you lazy bastard. Breathing hard, trying to calm down, he just falls on his buttocks. He had fun today, found out that his best friends got married and had kids, and then now everything hits home that he missed a lot. Everyone got a happy ending, minus few he knew, and here he was stuck in an unknown time and a world that has long outgrown his type of people. It was a bitter pill to swallow, and it hurt like hell. Do you think if we gathered everyone back? That power would be enough, maybe, but the question is where our chakra went. What do you mean? Kurama, I'm missing a smidgen of mine, but a smidgen is enough to do serious damage, you know that all too well Sora and darkme.yes. Naruto just laid back on the ground, looking at the shattered moon, sighing as he shook his head. I just needed to calm down, Naruto says as he looked into the skies and see 1,000 lightning bugs. His chakra cloak dispersed off him, allowing him to feel the cool air. I wonder if Sasuke died happily. Probably, given that a king was named after you, his children perhaps went on to lead a sort of revolution. I hope for all the right reasons, and not the wrong ones. I know about the curse. I doubt Indra and Ashura are still fighting after all this time, given that you haven't died and allowed the cycle to process. But that means Indra has gone unopposed for so long. Well, despite how the world looks, I'm sure Indra's reincarnates did the right things. The blonde just bit his lip, I still wish to return, and perhaps I still can. Naruto nodded, I need to return, perhaps after Sasuke gets Sakura and all that. Afraid you'll change that part of history a little bit, yeah, a little. What is it? Kurama, you do deserve a happy ending. Naruto, tell me about it. I'm not angry, just saddened. But have you stopped to consider this? Is it Think about this, Naruto, you're in a world where you are perhaps the most powerful person. You, out of everyone here, can probably stop these Grimm. You could easily set the course back on, like you did posthumously as far as we're concerned. Naruto, this the second chance, the second life. Kurama. Naruto, listen, you've suffered a lot because of me. You endured hell, back and forth, you've spent your time fighting and fighting and fighting. Perhaps, just maybe, it is time to lay down the sword, so to speak. Well, not lay it down fully since these Grimm, but relax and just be what they consider being normal. They don't know about me, being a Jinchuriki, so I won't have to worry about people chasing after me again. Well, they're teen bad, but still I don't belong here. What if this was all an accident and somehow I end up screwing the world up more? Naruto reasoned as he still looked up at the moon. What if you just chose to make it better? I mean, think about this, settling here. Find you a nice mate, pop out a few kids with her, and short of Grimm and some bandits. Nothing to worry about, no godlike enemies, no enemy that could ever dare touch you, you'd have the happy family you've always wanted, even if it means that Sasuke isn't here physically, know where he is and everyone else. Naruto looked up into the moon, fresh tears threatened to spill from his eyes. Where? In your heart, they're all in there, Naruto. Chapter 8. Naruto took a deep breath as he showered. He had done a morning workout that was to calm his nerves and wake him up. Last night had been a night of just taking a deep breath. He found out good news, a hard pill to swallow. However, he slowly realized by Kurama's logic, this is the ending that he had indeed fought for. He knew what he was doing when he sent himself at Kaguya. He took the gambit, odds were he should have never even come out of some black hole. Yet, here he stood, slightly changed, but never forgetting those who made him the man he was still to become. Taking the actions, the comfort of Kurama to heart, Naruto let it all out last night. It hurt to open himself to someone, the nine-tailed fox was his first friend. Even at the start of their little relationship began with dark whispers, he was still there to hear him when no one else would. Both had each other now, best friends, the most intimate of friendship. There was nothing Naruto didn't know about Kurama, there was nothing Kurama didn't know about Naruto. The only thing that they ever did that surprised one another was Naruto's lack of a stop button in his head and Kurama's tenacity for pranks. Perhaps the fox influenced him more ways than one in the womb of his mother, in a way, strangely Kurama was like a father to him. He bared the whiskers since birth, the power of his body was probably thanks to not only being an Ashura, but perhaps having grown drenched in chakra from a tailed beast. The blonde was standing in the middle of the cascade of hot steam, he had turned the water temperature up even further than last time, he found that it didn't hurt him. His body, ever since the Sage of Six Paths unlocked his Ashura side, had become a monster. It didn't show it, but he was at least 10 times stronger than what he started with at the beginning of the war. Madara Uchiha as a user of the rwby cloak, slightly ran from him during the time he took to take the initiative. Only when at max power did he ever stand against Sasuke and himself, even then it was just a game of time. Madara lucked out, a cloud had just passed over if it hadn't. Naruto and Sasuke were getting ready to crash him down to the earth and finish the war there. Black Zetsu happened when they got ready to do the same thing when another cloud passed, and that led to Kaguya, and thusly led to the current situation. Then he realized something, Black Zetsu had been in the sphere with him, yet he never really saw him leave it. Perhaps if Kaguya survived, Black Zetsu gave its life to do so, or perhaps it was just simply obliterated under the strain. Naruto didn't know, and as far as he concerned it didn't matter. Barring the mystery assailant a few nights, not many people he figured could damage him, though Ozpin flew in his radar on that note. Ozpin was hiding a lot of power, not just a lot by this world's standards either, Naruto's standard. The power of a Jinchuriki or something similar, a sage. In all honesty, the moment Naruto became a sage on Mount Myaboku he put himself on whole other level. Sasuke would have lost in that one fight in the Land of Steel if he hadn't been snuck attacked by Sakura. He still felt bitter about that, but then again, he was fresh off a fight from Nagato. Leaning against the shower wall, sighing, this is probably something I can get used to doing. Hot water will dry your skin out. Not when I constantly absorb nature chakra, it does good measures of healing that isn't entirely false. Well then, well played. I do need to see how other people act, cooped up in this room with these tomes, is slightly driving me nuts. Save the one involving Sasuke, I'll be keeping that, by all rights that were my friend, and anything I find privy to them I am going to claim. Well, let us hope Ozpin understands. He should. Somehow I think he knows more than he's letting on, even more than you think. Kurama. Don't let him fool radar, just keep an eye on him. I've been scanning the power below us, I've been feeling it, it's pure nature chakra. Interesting, and let me guess, feels similar to Ozpin. Bingo, we'll investigate it, not important at the moment since it poses no threat. Pick your battles, Naruto mutters, always evaluate. Is it viable to take on something, is worth the energy to waste behind enemy lines, check your gear. Plan ahead, but not too far ahead, don't ever plan every detail. If a fly flies and you didn't plan it, then the plan has failed. Jiraiya, he taught me to never plan ahead, just go with the flow. That works better than an actual plan. I guess that's our running engagement rules. If Ozpin becomes an enemy we'll just flatten and go. Not the ideal plan, not an ideal thing I want, but I will not become a weapon if he starts getting thoughts about it. Same rules, kill one, save 1,000. See, that's why I'm going to have problems, Kurama. Like it or not, Naruto shut the water off as his eyes glowed red. I need a good fight. I'm trained to walk in a room with a plan to kill everyone inside of it, rules of engagement, constant battle. It's like an itch, I try to fight it, and it just gets worse. It's called combat neurosis, the fatigue that your body goes through, even if you rest a few days it's constantly on go. How do I turn it off? I don't think you can, Naruto. Sucks to be me, because I always feel like I'm being watched in some form. Maybe, Naruto bit his lip as he took a deep breath, consult a psychologist. Probably, after all staff of Ozpin is informed of what you are then, there's the issue of trust here. Can I even trust anyone under Ozpin? Evil intentions would have already been on your radio, Kurama. Sometimes people don't start evil, but when they follow a path blindly they slip and fall into it. That is also true, Sasuke for example. Could have been me, just a little bit more sweet talking. Haha, you should get going. Naruto walked toward his room naked, only to yell as he saw Glinda. Holy shit. Glinda pushed her glasses up, hiding a blush. She had just got a full view by accident. Fidgeting a little bit, despite being a much older woman, biologically that is, she was still not one to not look. It happened, everyone slipped up, she was no different. Mr. Uzumaki, Ozpin was wondering if you were wanting to take a walk with him in the gardens before the others arrive. Glinda fidgeted slightly, and do please turn the music so you can hear people knock. Well, Naruto peeked around the corner while hiding himself. I was in the shower in my room. Quite right, anyway your request was accepted, your short sword is on the bed. I look forward to having you in class. Glinda went toward the door. Ms. Glinda, she turned to see Uzumaki's head poking through the door still. What's the nurse's name here? Nurse Isabella Peach, she's our resident medic and shrinks. Why? Glinda then looked at him. I see, well, she's confidential unless you prove to be a threat or harm to yourself or others. Great, Naruto rolled his eyes. Sorry about that. The fault is all mine, sorry about this, make sure you're not late. Are you going for that walk? Yeah, just give me a minute right. Have a good day, see you in the auditorium. Naruto blinked as she walked out the door, sighing, the hell is an auditorium? Naruto was wearing his usual clothing, with some additions of a leather shoulder and chest pieces that jingled from the metal clippings. Behind him was a design he made of a sword kunai, it wasn't meant to be anything special. Just a weapon he could use to throw at very large Grimm, since Grimm could be giant like the cyclops, the sword itself was about the length of his arm. Ozpin looked at the teen as he stepped with a pep, smiling as they came to the garden. Now, you told me that you had a green thumb. I am familiar to the stresses you have. Ozpin motioned his hand to the garden. You're free to do what you wish, so long as you don't destroy it. You may even take any vegetables from it. Well, Naruto found this unexpected, thank you. No mention it, perhaps you could work on possibly becoming a teacher here a few years, your skills may prove invaluable to those in the field, Ozpin suggested as he put a hand behind his back. Naruto bit his lip, I'll have to think about it. Did you get my last translations? Oobleck is swooning over them, Ozpin comments with a bright smile, you've changed some of the things we thought they were. Funny enough, one of the books you translated turned out to be old-timey pornography. Heh, Naruto chuckles, the man I was training under had to write porn to make ends meet. Did he now? Interesting. I do say though, Ozpin scratched his chin, I noticed that one of the tomes I gave you is missing. You haven't hidden anything from me that you aren't willing to tell me about, so I'll be blunt, one of them was from my ear. Specifically, around 10 years after my death, and it was my best friend's journal. As much as it may irk you, given they've been gone for so long, I still regard it as my keepsakes. Naruto took a deep breath, had a bad night last night when I found it. I see, well, Peach is a good shrink if you need to talk, yeah, well, maybe. As long as you're not going to harm yourself, or others, you're free to do as you wish. Appreciate the kindness, Ozpin, trust me I really do. Aye, you need to take what you can get in this world, it's still cruel. Naruto sighed, so what do most kids my age do in this world? Partying and having fun, study, try to please their parents, and bluntly having sex. This is a college, Ozpin took a deep breath, and as much I dislike the notion it is commonplace here. See, back when I am from there was just an academy dedicated to teaching shinobi, or civilians. Civilians had to go to the daimyos for further education. Naruto pointed out as he sighed, or just took training under other people. What are these? Daimyo lords of the land like a king, yeah, exactly like a king, save they were mostly lazy pieces of lard. Oof, not much in of high esteem to you. I never saw the title, I just saw what you put in. Well, I'll make sure to give a copy of our guidelines here. Yeah, thanks, but I had a favor to ask of you. Sure, anything. Naruto took a deep breath, can you perhaps send me to where you found that journal? That place is infested with Grimm, Ozpin sighs, but if you wish to go I'll have no reason not to send you. Perhaps you can retrieve more artifacts for us, maybe uncover things. How deep in the woods? Naruto pondered aloud as he looked at Ozpin, you almost make it sound like nothing lives near there. It's because nothing does, Grimm are drawn to places of negativity like bees to honey. You'll probably have to wait for a couple of months, I want you to know your enemy before you go, too much of a risk to just send you off without any knowledge. Understand? Ozpin questioned in the end, looking at the garden. Naruto nodded, I understand, but I have a question. Why are you okay with me keeping something you consider valuable? Its only value to me is the prestige and money it'll provide. Beacon, to you, it's a piece of your heart. Ozpin said as he started to walk away, you should always keep your heart close. Naruto was in front of the courtyard as he saw several large skybus transports coming in. He watched as they landed. Dozens of new students pouring in, he himself would be among the freshmen whatever that was. He saw a familiar face, smiling as he waved Ruby. Walking toward her, he wore a dumb smile on his face. "Hey short stuff. Naruto, holy moly you're in here too. Yep, got recruited in after I helped track down those bad guys, that's awesome. Hey, this is my big sis." The girl looked at Naruto. "Ruby, I thought you were lying mama likes." "Yang," Ruby huffs, "don't be weird in front of my friend." Yang rolls her eyes. "Yang Xiaolong, I'm this dork's big sissy." "Well, I'm Uzumaki I'm Naruto Uzumaki, nice to meet you." Naruto cheerfully said as he rubbed the back of his head. Yang laughed. "Well if you excuse me, I've gotta go with my friends." Ruby saw Yang speed off, much to her dismay. "Yang." She lowered her head. What you know?" "Oh man," both turned to see a blonde step off the craft. "I need something for motion sickness." Naruto winces. "Yeah, been there before buddy." "Oh, hi," the blonde waves. "Aren't you that guy that vomited on Yang's shoes?" "Oh, yeah, my bad. Well, you're lucky they're easy to wash, she usually beats up people over them. Yikes. Well, I'm John Ruby Rose." "Nice to meet you Ruby, and you." John turned his attention to Naruto. "Almost look like me save for a furnace my dad got around." Naruto laughs at that, he found it funny. "Well I can assure you that's not the case here." John sighs. "Hey, we'd look good though." Naruto nodded. "Yuzu damn it, Naruto Uzumaki. Why do you keep stuttering over your own name?" Naruto force of habit, short stuff. Meh. Ruby stuck her tongue out at him. "Just because you know my dad and our chummy doesn't mean you can make fun of me." "Whatever pipsqueak." Naruto rolled his eyes as he stuck his tongue out at her. "Longs as you're laughing." He then took notice of someone with a bow in their hair walking by. "Isn't that?" "Indeed, it is. Is it fate?" "Shut up Kurama. Yo you could, well, go for broke. We're seriously not having this right now him." Suddenly Naruto's mind was barraged with risque images of Glinda, some of them of Ruby strangely, and the bow-wearing girl, even the recently met Yang. He blushed madly, a nosebleed forming as he felt his right eye twitch. Hey. Will you get that you pervert fox?" "Dadabeo hehe, the deepest recesses of your mind aren't blocked from me. Kami help me, I'll put you back in the Torii seal ha." Naruto turned around to see where John and Ruby should have been. He looked around, rubbing the back of his head. "Oh I got ditched. Oof." Naruto turned around to face where the sound of the crash came from. "Hey, watch it, you dolt. Sorry, really sorry, this is high-grade dust, not something to play with, give me the vial. Really sorry, really sorry." John was standing by Ruby as she seemed to be apologizing to a white-haired girl. He casually starts walking over there until he sees red dust flying in the air. His eyes widened as Ruby went to sneeze. He moved like lightning, appearing between her and Ruby as he placed the tip of his finger on Ruby's nostril. She slowly fought the sneeze, finally winning when no other dust went inside. "Will you thanks Naruto?" "No mention it, something tells me that stuff goes boom." Naruto laughed, only to then hear John sneeze. Naruto's face fell flat. "This is bullshit ah." The loud boom sounded throughout the campus. Naruto's frazzled hair, smoke-black face, and coughing were heard as he looked at his jacket had been ripped. He looked at Ruby and then to John, they were both unharmed by the blast. He then looked at the white-hair girl, she was shaking off the dust as her aura signaled a critical level. "Aw man," Naruto looked at his torn-off sleeve, "just not my week." "Cheap fabric." Naruto looked at the girl, "should get it infused with dust." He rolled his eyes. "Well this jacket just happens to hold some important memories for me, sucks that you weren't more careful with that vial you had in your hand." "Excuse me, how about you to talk to the klutz there, she bumped into me. I said I was sorry, really, I am. Why do they even let children into this play? You should go home and play with dolls. Sorry." Naruto shook his head. "Hey, there is no reason to insult someone like that. She had an accident, accidents happen, sheesh. You need to sort of get the stick out of your ass, I mean really, are you hurt?" "Excuse me, idiot, who the hell do you think you are?" "Naruto Uzumaki." "There finally, got it done without hesitation. Some stupid furnace is more like it, how about you go back to the mines?" The blonde raised an eyebrow. "Care to run that by me again?" "I said, you blockhead, go back to the mines." "Well, shit, who the hell are you?" "Weiss Schnee." Everyone turned to the girl that was wearing the bow, heiress to the Schnee Dust Company. Remnant's richest teen girl, having a net worth of 20 million liens, while the company itself is worth an estimated 5 billion liens. Her brother is Whitley Schnee, and her father is the head of the company, Jacques Schnee, while her sister is a lieutenant colonel huntress named Winter Schnee. "See, finally, someone recognizes me," Weiss exclaimed with pride. "Yes," the amber-eyed girl rolls her eyes, "must be nice to be the daughter of a racist bigot. Whose practices are often called clandestine and shady. He often muscles his way into other business, threatening them and then buying off those who try to call the legality of it into question." Really? She shuts her book and has a dry look on her face, upstanding. Weiss looked at her, stunned, who the hell? Yeah, and there is you, she looks toward Naruto. Me? Naruto pointed at himself. The girl's eyes, yes you've been here since before we arrived. Otherwise, you'd been on one of the ships, and you weren't. So, either you have family that got you in, you're just really early by making the hike here, or you are a staff member. Oh, I'm a student, yeah you don't sound so happy I like the fighting parts, hate books sort of. Well, without knowledge one can never truly win a battle well, that's true Blake, that's all you're getting from me, have a good one, try not to die in the initiation. Hey, Naruto blinked as she walked away, hey wait a minute. Haha, she called you a klutz Kurama, not now, that's not even funny it is to me, hahaha, you got roasted shut up, dadabayo. I wish Asoba was awake, he could give all water you need to use for that burn that's it, I'm doing something stupid oi. Naruto formed a single clone that became a red-eyed, oi. Brah. Naruto roared as he collided with the clone. A dust cloud formed over them as the sounds of comical fighting could be heard, with them moving somehow in the dust cloud and it somehow following them. Everyone just blinked, shrugging, figuring it was just his semblance. A sound of clanging was heard, everyone wincing, Naruto had a big lump forming his head as the red-eye clone stood above him. Baka. The clone yelled, dispersing in a cloud of smoke with an audible pop. I'll keep this brief, I welcome you all to Beacon, I see amongst the halls that new fresh talent has come into our care. However, I also see something else, wasted energy. I wish, along with our staff, to mold you into something that can conduct that energy into something more effective. Tomorrow morning you'll be participating in an initiation, it will be dangerous, the risk of death is there. If you are afraid to die, you can step out those doors, no one will call you a coward for doing so. However, if you take a step forward, know that no staff will come to your aid, no teacher as a safety net. Ozpin spoke with authority in his voice, you must prove you belong here. The initiation begins at 6 in the morning, please be on time to launch bids. Glinda took over as she looked at the students, you all will be sleeping in the auditorium for the night until after initiation. There was murmuring inside of the halls as the students looked at one another, not noticing Naruto slip away from the crowd and toward Ozpin. He walked with the silver-haired man until they were hidden, looking at him. You want me to go? Yes, but don't worry, I'll hand you a note prior to meeting the other students. So, what will be on the note? What you need to do in order to get my further good graces and to look good here? Yeah, got you, kind of feel bad, though they did kind of earn the right to be here. Yet, you're invaluable to us here, given what you are. Yeah, well, just keep your end up. I always keep my promises, that's my word, and my word is my bond, dear boy. Naruto sighed as he was on the roof, doing crunches as he hooked his legs on the banister, sweat rolled down his body as he did them shirtless to feel the cold wind. Calmly looking upside down, every so often, he would see fellow students wandering around. Biting his lip as he did the 100th crunch, he raised back up, stretching as he jabbed at the air. Since a lot of people thought his semblance was cloning, including Ruby who thought his aura was just bright gold, he formed a clone to spar with. Sliding on his feet, dodging left and right as they punched and kicked at each other. The blonde just kept his combat skills sharp, practicing frog kata out of sage mode to make sure he could always have it on the cards if he needed it. Punching the clone, dispersing it, he took a deep breath as he does a handstand and begins to do sort of handstand push-ups. He breathed as he went up, taking air in as he went down, he would bend his legs forward to crunches as he did this. Taking time to make sure he wasn't watched, he didn't want a girl swooning on him, he kept going after he made sure the coast was clear. Closing his eyes as he imagined he was in the training grounds in Konoha where he'd practiced this all day and night, in fact, that was probably his plan, since he was a little itchy for a fight. Hey, Naruto, you up here? Naruto stopped immediately as he heard Yang, yo. Oh, hey Yang, what's up? Oh, that girl with the book isn't so bad once you get to know her, why ain't you down here sleeping with us? All I need fresh air, I guess that makes sense, man you sweaty, what are you doing up here? Exercise, stuff I learned while in service, damn it. Yang looked at him, you were in the military, you're no older than I am from my dad told me about you. Well, Naruto rubbed the back of his head, in all honesty I was just a guard in a town. I kept my physicality up just in case I needed to fight, you can never go wrong with being prepared, especially if you got everything in spades. She growls a little, I like you, you single. Not looking, but thanks for the offer. Aww, shucks, but it must be awesome for you to be in Beacon, right? Yeah, kind of, I mean it's special that's for sure. Hear ya on that, I busted my ass in school to get here, and then we got Princess shoving money and getting in Princess Weiss cream. Her, meh. Naruto reached for his coat, I don't really worry about her type of people, trust me it's best to just let things go. Well, fuck, you didn't deserve to get yelled at like that. Trust me, on one thing, I've been done and called worse. That sad, really sad actually. It is what it is, so would you come looking for me? Just want to know, since you know Ruby, you aren't thinking of going for my little sis straight up. Naruto chuckled, straight up. Ruby is probably the bubbliest person I've seen, on par with a friend of mine that isn't in this world. She seems really excited to be here, really cute honestly, but definitely not my type. Yang stretches a little, what is your type? I don't really know, Naruto admits as he scratches his chin, honestly I just haven't had interest in having a relationship with anyone. What, you haven't even, you know? Nope. Wow, I hear you, as good looking as you are, a lot of girls back when I was kid thought I was weird. I didn't fight with weapons, I fought with my hands mostly. So, why the sudden change up with the sword? Oh, that's for emergencies. Yang laughed, walking over and patting him on his back. Well, I know when to back off, sorry if I made you uncomfortable. Oh, you didn't, I'm flattered actually. Hey, got a pillow I could borrow if I go down there? I forgot to pack my own. Sure, just don't hump it. Haha. Naruto blushed, laughing as well. Oh, I was going to get nasty. Both laugh hysterically as they walk toward the stairs. Have a chance to get laid, instead you just become friends. The story of your life. Much. Name one other girl. Sean, Sakura, Ino, Koyuki. When you went there on your journey with Uraya, any princess in any small village, since you saved them all mostly. Well, perhaps I'm not ready for that, perhaps I'm nervous to give my first time away, and it is not out of love. Yo, you are a hopeless romantic, may Kami help you if someone gets around you naked. Meh, I can handle it. Yes. Like you handled that one girl that used that kiss jutsu to absorb chakra, considered that out of consent. Thank you very much. Hey, you were just responding in kind until I came out to play. Naruto smiles, I think I could get used to this place, a little bit. What if the Shinobi Alliance read Naruto and rwby? And thanks for watching my video till the end. If you enjoy this content, then do consider subscribing to my channel and leave a like if you guys need the next part, comment down, and thanks for watching the video and see you guys in the next video.